Hi everyone, welcome back for another session of Light of Thylea Plays Odyssey of the Dragonlords. Holy fuck, it's like actually hurting cats sometimes. With that, I hope everybody had a phenomenal week. We certainly had a good one. I hope you guys got to enjoy yourselves. With that, hi, welcome back. I don't really have anything in particular that I want to shout out. Do you guys?
Didn't Enshrouded come out? Wasn't that after?
Oh yeah, weren't you excited about that?
Don't mention the game that nobody wants to play with me.
That's not true. That's not true.
Every single person in this chat I've asked. I mean, I didn't ask Alex mostly because he's playing Pal World, and I know.
Also, he never asked me either.
Yeah, I did. I asked all of you guys in the video games chat. I did, and I got ignored. And then you started playing ESO with your wonderful sister. That's right. You choke on your water, or gin. You choke on that.
It's gin.
I mean,
choking on your lies and your water.
to be fair, I haven't played Pal World either, but that's because I don't have money for either of them.
That's fair. That is 100% fair.
I'm at right now too.
We almost want to put a poll up for like how soon the makers of Pal World are going to be sued. But anyway, Enshrouded, wonderful game. I've really enjoyed it. It is early access, not sponsored. It feels kind of like a Zelda, but with voxel elements to it. That's like Valheim meets Zelda. It's really fun.
What is voxel?
That means you can destroy everything in the world. You know how we played Ark and the dinosaur running around and stuff like that, but you couldn't do anything with the world around you? Here you can
That's a genre? Voxel is a genre?
No, that's like it's like how the world is built. It's like voxels. That's what they're called. Google it. That's the best way.
Why am I friends with nerds? They use words I don't understand.
Why am I friends with nerds? He says on the D&D stream.
I know.
Yeah.
D&D Discord.
Do you even OGL, bro?
What the fuck? Triggered.
Now you're just throwing out letters.
David, what's WotC mean?
Shut up!
All right, so WotC, I'm actually, what are my fucking glasses? I don't have my glasses here. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Hi. With that then, yes, Enshrouded, big thumbs up. Definitely go check it out. With us getting back into the storyline, oh boy, who would like to give us a little bit of a feedback of what happened last week before we delve back in, and why is it Clancy?
Oh, I was going to say, I think Elena should do it again.
3 weeks is enough.
She's refreshed.
But she was sober last week, so she's actually going to remember what happened.
Darian doesn't get Fatespirations when we sleep, so it's the only way she can get DM inspiration.
Okay, so
well, shouldn't have pissed them off.
We fought some Centurions, is that what they were? And then we realized they were not as strong as we thought. So a few of them got killed before we could knock them out. And then the statues came to life. And we messed up them statues. But we realized there was chanting going on.
And they're generals,
and we didn't and we didn't get to the chanting in time. All we know is that Kyra, that's her name.
Yep.
And Briss's daughter, child number 2, has now been kidnapped. They've also stolen a bunch of very strategic things. We interrogated the Amazons that we interrogated. Yeah, we're all doing it. Alex, you are not following along.
Alex is looking up at his Pokedex. Don't bother him, okay?
That's not even right, Alex. That's not even right.
That is...
Alex is still dealing with emotional damage from last week, all right? So we interrogated
properly. Jesus Christ.
And then we interrogated the Amazons, which, we got some info, not a lot. We realized that Daphne's hot but scary. We realized that...
We always knew that, Elena. No, I'm just kidding.
To be fair, only Argenti knows right now.
And Argenti took away from this was
like
that everyone is beneath dragons.
Like a Smith towel.
Argenti turned into a dragon supremacist.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So that's happening.
One day at a time.
Yeah, Darian had a nervous breakdown away from the group, but still nervous breakdown. So I think all in all, things went well.
They did.
They did well.
And that that is going to be where we're picking up today. Anything that was left off that you would like to include before we get back in?
We found out that the cult took all the dragons. I think all the living
right.
and dead dragons after the attack on Mitros.
And they stole
Any
stuff
dragons
from
they could get a hold of.
From the academy.
And money. They took a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember if anything else did happen.
And I have a message to deliver to somebody named Avi from his dead.
Oh,
friend.
yeah, that depressing message. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think anything.
I
I
think
couldn't
the
let
fight
David
took
be
up a big
responsible,
chunk of
be
it.
directly responsible for all the emotional damage. I had to open the door for some myself there.
Yeah.
All right. As we're zooming back in, morning is rising. On the east side, past the fields, you can see the morning sun starting to rise. Golden rays of sunshine shining over a broken but not bent city. Or I should say it the other way around, bent but not broken. Because though there are holes in the beautiful white alabaster buildings, though there's smoldering ashes still remaining where the armies of Sidon and Mitros clashed, where dragons held titans at bay, there's also life, pride. As the people are shifting through this rubble, pulling aside massive rocks, we follow an eagle as it flies over the city, its brown wings spread wide, light brown tips fluttering in the air. It goes past one column of smoke, a second, and a third, and down below we see dozens and hundreds of people out in the streets. The clinking of metal weapons against stone. The grunting of people, alive, though they are injured. We see centurions once again imposing peace upon the streets. We see the vision as the eagle looks down of a grandfather holding his grandchild in his arms and rocking her, playing with a little toy horse as she giggles away. Now no longer in danger, able to immediately bounce back, the resilience of a child. We see looters in another building, but 12 years old themselves, trying to get whatever gold and food they can to survive. We keep going as we fly over the palace grounds themselves. And we zoom down as the eagle looks down upon you, Darian. As it looks down, it sees you, sitting upon a marble bench, your face buried in your hands, tears having streaked out the side, down your arms, and you pull it away, and you go, shit, I paid like 500 gold for this makeup. Jesus Christ, no. As you pull away...
God, at least it's waterproof mascara.
This is wedding makeup.
Worth
damn
the
it.
extra gold.
For that price, it should probably be permanent makeup. Tattooed
Got
and stuff.
tattooed on your face.
Doesn't allow for any flexibility. Ooh, sorry.
You've got the fakers now. But as you pull away, you see your hands covered in tears, but they seem to turn red upon your hands. You know it is just a vision. You shake your head, trying to shake the thoughts of you and Lyra and Pitor killing your fellow Amazons. Committing war crimes in the process. Prisoners of war who had given up their weapons, had laid down their arms before you, were taken in and then tortured for information and killed even after the fact. As you...
I don't know if war crimes exist yet.
Oh, believe me, Esther made them unfashionable 500 years ago. You guys are just aptly naming your children, let's put it this way. As you look upon your hand...
Is it child abuse if we use the 3-year-old Geigen to do some of the murdering?
Yeah, that just makes
Yeah,
the war
don't
crime
use-
worse. I mean, it's only
Yeah.
one of the
Okay.
1,700 counts, but it makes it worse. Somehow,
just checking.
you got lower. You got lower. Congratulations. Achievement unlocked. There's a little bling. As you look up in your hands, the lives of these Amazons is kind of flashing by. How outstandish they were. How zealous they were in their protection of Moxena. And you realize, again, that your people will burn. In the coming conflict, it is Amazons who are going to bear the burden of responsibility for what happened in Mitros. Yes, it was Sidon's troops, the large bulk, the Gigans and Centaurs, the humans and other fey creatures that probably have traveled all the way from Aresia upon boats and laid siege to the harbor, right? You see the, bloody corpses of the Sidonian troops. You do not see the Amazons strewn about in the streets. For the average Mitrosian, it is the Sidonians, the people from, now Sidonia that attacked. But you know that in the heart and mind of the woman that matters the most in this city, in Bursa's mind, it was the Amazons that stole her treasures. And probably the most treasured thing of all, her second best child.
Probably first, Estor, I don't really know him, right? Andy's kind of an abomination right now.
Is Scylla the first child?
Scylla.
Yeah,
Scylla
Scylla is
Scylla.
the first
Okay.
child.
Oh, yeah,
It's
yeah,
Scylla, Mitros, Estor. That's
Estor is definitely
her
bottom
number
four.
one
It's like a
human
distant
child.
yeah, her number one human child.
Human
That's
child.
right. That's right.
Talking about supremacy.
Yeah.
Well, who's she known the longest?
Get off
can't,
this
like-
ride.
You can't really cuddle a thing with 6 arms, right?
What are you talking about? They're like the best big spoon. Are you kidding me? It's literally, you can be on either side.
You're
and
not
still
supposed
get the
to
full
big spoon
Please
your
swing.
don't big
3-year-old.
spoon your child.
I mean, your child can
Wait.
big spoon you.
Oh, all right.
It doesn't have to be like that, Tyler. My God. Get out of here.
God, Darian's inner thoughts are wild because I'd like to
Listen,
think this is
you are
all going on
delusional.
in her head.
You're
Yeah.
exhausted.
I'm so
You're
tired.
drunk. You committed a war crime. I mean, you've done it all.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my God, is Brissa gonna have her kid hold her or she's gonna hold her kid? I'm so confused. So I'm looking at my hands, absolutely emotionally drained. And I think Darian is recognizing that after they go to sleep and they wake up tomorrow morning, while there's going to be things to do, she's going to have to make sure that things are right with Brissa. But she knows that she's not in the headspace to really hear it right now. It's too fresh. Because Darian knows that when she was betrayed, and even after she was saved, sometimes time is still what heals or allows for healing to occur.
The eagle passes on from you as it's been kind of like circling the palace ground and flies further. On one of the highest balconies of the city, we see a woman standing tall. The regal posture of one befitting to be called Queen of Mitros. Part of the left side of the balcony is crumbled down, broken, and you can see that a dragon's claw scratched down the side and then landed further down below on the lower levels of the city itself, but there is no sign of the body. You hear metallic scratching across the marble floor behind you, Brissa, as you kind of broken out of your reverie, overlooking your own city, now finally no longer burning, still standing, but at what cost? And as you stand there, you hear Scylla kind of come up behind you and kind of nuzzle you on the side. What is going through your head as you scratch your best child under the chin?
I think Brissa right now, she's just exhausted. She thought Mistress was going to be safe, and so she left, and within 24 hours. It is she lost her husband, and everything is burned and gone, and then her other child, is also now gone. And so yeah, I think she's exhausted and she's defeated right now. So I think she's just. Yeah, she just wants to throw herself into work and just go into the city and work all night to help people and just not think at all.
The eagle lands upon the balcony as it watches Brissa and Scylla descend into the hallway. You are immediately just kind of like rushed by 7 different advisors. Queen Brissa, we need to. You kind of just like gently push them aside with your 6 fingers as you go past them. You doff your armor and you just keep walking as you descend down the stairs, and there you see the hundreds of people that are already gathering within the halls to be heard by the queen. My sheep farm, what are we going to do? Like the cacophony of it kind of like swallowing you up, but you move into it as if you dive into an ocean of despair and anxiety and fear, and you are there for them. You embrace them. As they are all standing around you, you standing just slightly taller than most average people here, what do you say to your people, Brissa?
I think at this point, Brissa's like, I will do everything that I can to get your homes back, to make sure everyone is safe, and that so that this never happens again. I will be here for each and every single one of you. You just have to ask. I will do whatever I can to help you, even if it means doing everything myself. I will do it. I promise. And I'm sorry that this happened to you.
You keep moving after you say that, and the people kind of just look down at what remains sometimes they have of their homes, their families, their lives. But as you go out and you grab a shovel and put it over your shoulder and descend down the marble stairs from the palatial gardens to the lower city, you see more and more people behind you. Centurions, merchants, urchins, bards, clerics, pick up shovels, pickaxes, wheelbarrows, and they begin to help, led by their queen. On the way out, you look over to the side and you see that there's a small squad of centurions ringed around Estor, who's just kind of standing there. Bye, mama. Upon his shoulder, you see Lothario currently in his black cat visage, kind of going, meow, kind of moving his little beans back and forth as you walk out of the building. Meanwhile, the eagle sets off from the balcony, soaring up above, flying away from the palace itself and towards the eastern portion of the city. A place that was hit fairly hard, apparently very early on. A smoldering, beautiful temple to thought rather than belief, of reason over doctrine. Down in the rubble, this eagle spots a small figure in magnificent robes, kneeling in the dirt with a multitude of other scholars, lifting carefully, gently rocks and boulders aside, trying to find what they may of the riches of the academy. Yanni, your fingers and hands have not been this dirtied by actual dirt and muds and grime in years now. But for a moment, you find yourself almost standing there like the homeless urchin that you were back in Aresia, as you're digging for treasures in the trash. What is going through your head?
I don't know what's more depressing, that I feel like I'm kind of back where I started, or that so much has been lost here. So much knowledge and wisdom. I mean, maybe we'll recover some of it, but some of it's just And he just kind of, looks around at the destruction.
As you look around, suddenly a voice pierces into your head. A familiar male elven voice. A man that guided you in the beginning, gave you information on the Horn of Belmitria, the keeper of the dragon shine within Astoria, Aesop. Yanni, Aesop here. We were able to fight off Sidonian forces yesterday. How did Mitros fare? We have not heard. Are you all right? Please reply.
Glad you're okay. Mitros is suffering a lot of damage. Acastus is dead. The princess is missing. Lots to do.
Immediately another message comes. Here as well, but we received help from one of the new gods, Hephaestus. And I can't believe it. Vulcan has returned. Don't share this yet.
Pitor, Valis, and Kyra are still here as well. Kyra is missing with the princess. But it's, like you said, not common knowledge. Not sure what else to say.
Another sending comes in. Understood. You should come and confer. When you can, of course. Something has changed. I can feel it. I sense that oaths are changed as well. Was this your doing? Was this the light? Did you accomplish the impossible?
Maybe. Sidon's dead. The Furies are dead, so no oaths. Lutheria has left Thylea. Talieos is dead. Some of the new gods are dead. We'll probably be there tomorrow.
The sendings stop there. You see the young acolytes around, kind of just, some of them are weeping upon some of them. You see the ones that were starting to study up on Stoicism themselves are just kind of talking about how there are setbacks in life, and this is just another one. We are going to rebuild. The knowledge will be redone. As it was with the library upon yonder, so it is upon the academy in Mitros.
Yanni's like, yeah, feeling a little less stoic right now.
More like stoish.
Yeah, maybe. Not sure what that means, but yeah, maybe. Yeah,
Right.
Yanni's struggling with the stoic thing right now for sure. For sure.
The eagle keeps flying, circling. And its eye is drawn to a pile of corpses that has been kind of been thrown over the side of the noble district to the lower part, one of the buildings that collapsed there, which was a small arena for former slave fights. We see a lot of blue and silver, the colors of Sidon piled atop of each other. But the eagle kind of swoops low and a body sails past it. It kind of veers out of the way. We see the black leather armor as the woman cascades down with her dark skin. Hundreds of cuts and burns and bruises, barely healed over into recent-looking scar tissue, falling end over end. As the biffed eagle looks up towards the source of what just threw a corpse at her, we see Daphne standing upon the ledge there, legs wide, fists upon her hips. You're covered in soot and grime and blood. As you see the corpse land some 50, 60 feet below, barely even making a sound. What's going through your head, Paladin of Glory?
She not feeling so great. This has just been an awful day. Something that was supposed to be heroic and something to come home and be celebrated about is now turned into destruction. And she's so unsure of anything that's to come, any of the choices she's ever made, and now she just wants to hide somewhere dark and just drink so she can sleep, because she's so tired. Even though she hasn't even found her mom, and that like eats her way too. She's just so tired. She's just so angry.
If you would, and this is a choice of whether you want to do this or not, roll me a wisdom saving throw. You do not get your paladin or a benefit from this.
I'm gonna make it a blind roll. Should have gone through.
You stand in your gladiatorial position upon the edge. You are firm, you are strong, you are grounded. Nothing can push you over, and then a sob just escapes. As you kind of look down, and it feels like your chest is being crushed. It feels like darkness settles upon you in a way that even the pressure in the deepest depths in the sunken city did not feel like this. You feel like your legs become little tiny sticks and they are about to snap upon the pressure of the guilt and the things that are here. And you kind of look around and tears are starting to build up and anger kind of swells up at the same time as they're kind of building up against each other. But the anger is just not enough anymore. And it whimpers inside of you. And it is almost like this choking feeling around your heart, around your esophagus. It's just pushing and squeezing, and you actually gasp for air. One of the centurions kind of comes over. Lady Daphne, are you all right? Are you all right? He kind of gets down on a knee to look at you.
Kind of like gently try to push him away. I'll be fine. I don't know if you want a deception on that.
Sure, go for it.
Cool. So you're like super good at this. Okay.
He kind of gives you a look. Yes, of course.
Go help those who need help.
For Mitros. As he kind of walks off, you can see him kind of look over his shoulder one more time. and your hand is shaking, and there's a scratching on the inside of your skull of just, it feels like nothing makes sense and everything is overwhelming, and there's just a storm, a maelstrom in your mind, and you feel it could rise up from your stomach and push it down with force, but you are just woozy, and before you realize what you've done, your hand had reached backwards, unstoppered the little string attached stopper upon your wineskin, and the edge of it is upon your lower lip. Your lips are so dry. Your throat is so parched.
The only thing she can think of, she needs it. Thinks back to the trickster god and how she's tried to push away so weakly. And here she is, and she knows she's not going to be able to get any sleep as the sun is rising if she doesn't partake.
Glorious liquid. Oh, you made out of wine, of soothing alcohol, of the thing that makes you forget and calm down, that drowns that maelstrom inside of you. Better than the nectar of the gods, better than ambrosia. This is what you need. You take almost a full minute of a swig, just letting it cascade down, almost to a point of bursting, like you burp back up afterwards and a little bit of wine comes into your mouth and you force it back down. As you stand there kind of wiping it away, immediately feeling the effects, the screams, the scratching, the tightness loosens, fades, stops. Screech as the eagle flies high up, watching Daphne kind of stumble away from the edge. As we get closer, once again kind of circling over by the palatial grounds, we see a winged woman walking in beautiful robes. A little cat walks up to her within eyesight of Estor being patrolled and guarded by the centurions, as the black cat suddenly speaks. I tried. You keep giving me that look. I tried, I really did try to keep her safe. I'm sorry. And you see the little cat hang its head down.
Oh no. I don't know if Lyra can deal with one more person being sad about something right now. So I think she will. It's gonna be real weird because it's Lothario, but he's a cat. I think she'll just scoop him up and just hold him.
I don't really do hugs. This feels weird. Oh no, this is the punishment, isn't it? Okay. Wait, you're not squeezing hard. I thought you're gonna squeeze me until my ribs pop or something. Make me really suffer for this.
And she's just kind of awkwardly, silently crying into his fur.
No, ew. Oh, no, this is worse. Oh, no, this is like Lothario torture. Oh, no. as you sit there, love me, do the thing that every cat owner has done ever in the history of cat owners.
Why don't you love me?
You see Pitor safe. Of course, that just makes the missing component of Mitros stand out that much more. What's going through your head?
Well, she's covered in blood, physically exhausted, like to the point where she just looks unwell, like the rest of us. And I think for this entire thing, from when we all met, when we learned about the prophecy, when we, went to the games, when we went to the old woods, when we went, hunting for the Lotus Witch, everything we've done from the beginning to now, Lyra has felt like what they have done has always been the right thing. Maybe not the best thing, maybe not the easiest thing or the most smart or efficient thing, but it's always been the right thing. And several times throughout this, she's also felt that even though they've done the right thing, they've always been one step forward and two steps back. Like when we went to Themis and brought back Darian's mom, and then she immediately died. Or when we had our summit and tried to recreate a new Oath of Peace and we're still outsmarted by Sidon. Or now when we've killed Sidon finally and came back to Mitros and lost a whole lot. Not everything, but a whole lot. So she feels very defeated, and for the first time, really, even though she's joked about it with Yanni and we've made quips about it, I think for the first time, really genuinely, she feels like just giving up.
Another world of your own is open in your heart, the abyss filling you. And most of you just kind of looking across the grounds as you kind of look once more to Estor, seeing the little glimmer, trying to grab onto that and trying to see the silver lining. There is a different face within the crowd that suddenly grabs your attention. Dressed in very smart red studded leather armor that is covered over by kind of like this nice beige cloth. The dreadlocks cascading backwards and pulled into a hair tie. Dark red horns curling backwards. The center ring once again showing on his lower lip. Pascal, currently helping bandage wounds upon the centurions who are here within the palace grounds. As you meet his eye, though, he stops, and you see an intensity in his eyes. He nods, turns back towards the soldier, finishes bandaging up the wound, kind of pats him on the back, gets up, sets down a rag after he wipes off his hands and walks over towards you. You see that he's wearing essentially what is like a battle medic's outfit within the army of Mitros. An outfit. Hey there, little bird. You look...
Lie to me.
phenomenal. May I help you with the blood?
Please.
He waves his hands, short little claws as they are, and the blood just burns off, turns into ash, and then flows away. Perfect, pristine ropes remaining thereafter. Espescal steps towards you. May I? Kind of gesturing for him to touch you.
Yeah. All right.
He puts his index finger underneath your chin and gently lifts it up. Oh no, little bird.
Just bags under my eyes.
You paid a dear price in toppling a king of this world. This, and he kind of looks around the palace, the broken centurions, the people being brought in to be triaged. This is just a day in your history. A day for you to remember, to feel fully. But you will rise above. Don't forget what you are, a descendant of Promethea herself. A woman destined for greatness. Do not forget this. You will live a millennia or more. Perhaps eternity. This day was paid in blood. But all things that are worth something come at a cost. What is weighing you down, little bird?
Just worried that what if this finally broke us?
What would that mean? And who would be the one who broke? Would you be two parts? Would be one person incapable of carrying the temple any longer? That is your friendship. Is that what you worried about? Or are you worried in a break of your own soul?
It's kind of a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Well, in my line of work, you don't get very far trying to force other people into doing what you want them to do. You make an offer, they take it, or they leave it. You have no control over other people. Other of my kind will tell you that they can control what people do, but this is an illusion. You can guide, you can steer. This is what these fates are so very good at. Little bird, be the guiding force, the gale winds, the gentle breeze that guides this group of heroes of yours forward. But you cannot control them. And like a chick that does not learn to fly out of the nest, if there is one that falls and breaks its neck, well, That is the nature of mortality, not your fault.
I just don't know what I'll do if we don't stay together after this.
I'm sure you're either going to figure it out, or you will rise above. You are a survivor after all. Mayhaps taking your mind off things will help. A little siren roost special.
Will you just sit with me for a while?
He looks over towards all the kind of like wounded people, bloodied people. But there are so many who need my help, Lyra. How could I put you above all of them?
Whatever shall we do?
And the mischievous grin of Pascal crosses his face as he goes, I do know a little storage room. It is nice. It is quiet. And it is private. Do you want me to show you?
I mean, if you have to make sure people are okay, please make sure people are okay.
The truth is, I'm actually not that good at medicine, but I mean...
It was kind of surprising. I was not expecting to see you patching people up.
An artist has to stretch his wings, learn new performances.
Just keep in mind that you can hurt people more if you don't know what you're doing.
No, I mean, I don't take the ones where, the leg is just flopping around. I'm not doing that.
Okay, as long as you're just like...
Light abrasions only, yes.
Yeah, just gauze, that's it.
That's it. I promise.
Okay. Lothario's coming too.
Please don't involve me in this again!
We'll just sit in the dark for a while.
You walk to the place, and it is a nice, very tightly packed little side closet. And true to your request, Pascal just sits down next to you. You sit there in silence for a minute. Then he turns towards you. The future that you seek is never easy to gain. Not to beat a dead centaur, but I believe that you can do this. Just be patient with yourself. Make sure that you feel his Thylean accent just kind of like bleed from his voice. Make sure that you look out for yourself. You have a pact, a duty, and a responsibility to yourself, first and foremost. The fates have seen the future and guided it into a way that they would like to see it in the end. This day, you brought them much closer to that goal by removing Sidon from that equation, by granting them the divine spark of his soul. Well done, Lyra. You are magnificence, you are death, you are beauty. Do not let them break you with their petty little grievances. People will die in the pursuit of greatness. But are you making the world a better place in the process? Of course you are. Would a mother not offer her life if she could ensure that her children were safe? You are doing that. You are making Thylea safe. Whatever that means to you, you have the power to do that. A knock comes on the door. I need, like, can you unlock the door? Pascal goes,
We're naked.
what is happening in there? Pascal just kind of like puts a hand on your leg for a second, gets up, cracks the door open. We're taking a break. 30 more minutes. 30 more minutes? I mean, but the normal time is like 5, right? Seriously. Closes the door, locks it, goes back towards you. He kind of just like goes down in like a low squat, putting your hands into your own lap, grasping your hands in his, and looks up towards you now. I know this will be hard on you for a while. But also don't forget that you have friends in low places. There are things that we might be willing to trade. Deals that can be struck should you need it one day. He gives your hands a little squeeze. I'll keep that one out for a bit longer. He kind of flicks your chin up a little bit, gives you a gentle kiss on the forehead, and walks out, closing the door behind him.
I think I grab Lothario and have you ever tried to like use your pet as a pillow? Like he just
No, what are you doing? No, this was worse. I thought you guys were going to fuck, and then this was it instead. This is actually legitimately worse. Oh no! Why do you? Do you understand how your head is so big? Oh, my little lungs. I hope you're enjoying yourself.
And then I just cry until I feel like maybe you should go do something productive.
As Pascal walks out and we see him return back towards the hall with the wounded, the eagle soars on. It flies and flies until it gets to some of the, well, back gardens. Beautiful, extensive as they are, pristine, untouched during the fighting. And we watch a figure stand before a small mountain of silver coins, somehow untouched, in a pit. But as we get closer, the eagle's eye kind of watches. We see the small arcane runes that surrounds the pit, the horde of Icarus, Acastus' dragon. Argenti, you stand before this pit of silver coin. Small, cute, by dragon standards. But more than you ever had in your days as a dragon. You were born into war. You were trained from a hatchling age, since you were a small wormling, to carry Dragonlords, dragon riders, knights of Paladine into battle. You never had the luxury of a palace, the luxury of a hoard of treasure to call your own, to live in your grandeur, your era of glory. Until about 20 minutes ago, you witnessed Daphne's wrath as she killed and brought back and killed and brought back from the brink and killed and brought back from the brink the Amazonian warrior that had dared to defy her, dared to defy Brissa, the rider of a dragon, the bonded woman. And you feel your veins be ice cold, calm, settled like you've never felt before. As you see the glint of the morning sun scatter across the silver coins, what is going through your head, Argenti?
Argenti is just like you said with the icy feeling. That's like he's feeling that icy feeling, but it's not like a fiery rage. It's like exactly like an icy rage. And he wants so desperately someone to blame, and he wants someone to pay, and then probably for a moment he thinks, about how he's so close to like fulfilling his dreams of returning back to his old form. He feels empowered enough to do that, and he thinks about how he got his husband back, and by all rights he should have everything he really ever wanted. This is everything he's always worked towards, but there's like that feeling of guilt also that he's getting everything he wanted right now. But that's because he has power, and he has the privilege of power. And people who have power and have privilege can do whatever they want, and they can make their dreams come true. But these people who are outside of the palace, they don't have power. They're just people. They get trampled on every time somebody with power decides that they must, or they feel like they need to make a statement by destroying people's homes. And they have to work twice as hard. They have to work hundreds of times as hard to rebuild their lives. While for him, it's a thought. Like when he thinks something, it just comes into existence with his power. And then looking around at the garden that he's in, it almost makes him more angry that the garden is untouched. Like it is a garden with flowers, and flowers don't have feelings, they don't have thoughts, they don't bleed, and it's just been totally untouched. But there are people outside who are bleeding and dying, and they've been totally displaced, and it's really upsetting that people just keep getting trampled on. And he's sick of it. And he doesn't think that he is better qualified to lead, and he doesn't think he has the right answers. But he knows, the draconic part of him knows, that if given enough time, dragons can have immeasurable wisdom and immeasurable strength. And he thinks about all of the awful things he did, his time as a dragon under the whip of Lutheria, and he thinks about how misguided he was. And if he could just convert that into something more productive, into something positive, he himself could make a difference. Like he witnessed his own might and how much devastation he caused and how much of an impact he had through negative behavior. And he's very solemn, and he's just almost even blank, but it's just blank with ice cold rage. And he's starting to sort of develop a newfound purpose, and he doesn't really know what that is yet, but he feels like he needs to do something, or this world is going to go through all of this all over again every 500 years. Every 100 years, whatever, but it's going to keep repeating, and something must be done. It just has to stop.
As you stand there, in your power, in your realization as it crystallizes in you. There's a focusing crystal of energy that seems to just kind of like sit at the center of your soul and your chest. And you look down upon your hands and you see that there's a faint green aura that seems to be just kind of sparkling around you. You feel that spark of divinity that Thylea, not a true spark, but just like this fraction of a spark, had left with you. You can feel the air crackle around as you kind of hold this power, but you're not quite able to reach it. But soon, with a clear mind, you could make peace a reality. Perhaps forevermore. The eagle screeches as it passes by the gardens, lifts up higher and higher and higher, up towards the churning cloud that is surrounding the palace of the Empyreans on Mount Vulcan above the city itself. And as the bird kind of gets close, looking for prey down below, suddenly a lightning arc hits it from that. As the burned eagle cascades down, drops. The camera swivels away, zooming out, and we see this churning cloud over a mountaintop. The city below, still somewhat smoking. And then we zoom back in towards the palace. The old sleeping chambers of the Light of Thylea had been prepared once more. Who of you returned back to the palace to take a much-deserved rest?
I'd probably go back there rather than stay at the academy. Safer, presumably.
Oh, God.
I would go knowing that it's safer for my family. And I would bring Mateo along.
Versus people are on the streets, so she's going to sleep on the streets.
Are you going to sleep at all, Brissa?
You know what? I don't think Brissa would. I'll take exhaustion.
If it didn't come to I had more things that I had to do, I probably just like hard cried until I fell asleep in the little room that I was in.
Darian?
I think she would find a ruined house in the city. I don't think she'd be quite ready to go back to the palace yet, but she would try to make herself safe, because she does look like some of the people that attacked the city.
Yanni Argenti, you turn back towards the palatial guest quarters, and the first thing that hits you is just this eau de pitor, this waft of wine, highly intoxicating as you step in, just a miasma of it. And the second thing that hits you is the sound of snores, deep and loud. As you just think to yourself, Yanni, you just shake your head and go, Pitor, Pitor. You step forward, and then you realize that upon the chaise in the middle of the kind of central chamber that connects all the side rooms together, where you have planned, where you discuss things like the summit of peace between you and Sidon, lays almost like a Renaissance painting with the canter of endless wine kind of spilled to the side a bit. Daphne kind of just like lounged upon the chaise, deep asleep. Argenti and Yanni, you kind of walked in at the same time as you guys like look at her and then look towards each other.
Oh, I think she's more like her dad than she would ever want to admit.
I think she's earned it, though, honestly.
Maybe.
We've all been through a lot.
I mean, she's earned the nap. It's that's the part that worries me.
I'm gonna like just go forward and just remove the decanter. Is that what it is? It's just the thing that's producing the wine. And I'm just gonna remove it from her hand. Set it upright.
Make me a strength check. Daphne, make me an athletics check with a disadvantage.
Okay. It's a 9.
It's a
for the
check,
folks
not
at
a
home.
save.
Oh, what did I do? Oh my
Save.
goodness.
It's all good.
I mean, your chances are pretty good.
Still pretty good. You see her muscles kind of tense for a second. As you kind of go, and she's like, you see her eyes kind of flutter open. You can see that blearness. And as you look upon her, her eye seems to just filled with just a little bit of a rage for a second. You see a little bit more of that shimmer of a red aura as she then lulls back into sleep.
Prop it up. And then also, I would also like to grab a blanket. And just lay it over her.
There's a moment there, very much interrupted by the rhythmic snores of Daphne escaping her nostril cavities, that you stand there looking at each other. You two magnificent users of the weave, the people who can bend reality to their will, understanding all the implications of what must come next, but your mind's so drained and exhausted. Yanni, you look at Argenti. Argenti, what would you describe yourself to look like currently? Posture-wise. Like what could you read in your posture?
Just there's like a, you know what, actually there's just, he is so exhausted. Everything is loose and just, he's hunched over and his lids are heavy and there's the dark circles are there and his hair is frizzed. It's not beautiful and luscious. It's just, yeah, he's just so tired. So unbelievably tired.
And as he looks upon you, Yanni, what do you look like?
I'm pretty dirty and dusty, which is pretty unusual because I tend to prestidigitate myself clean pretty frequently. I haven't even taken the time to do that. Definitely bags under my eyes. Maybe hints that I've either cried a little or been holding it back pretty hard. You know, slight bloodshot, classy, a little bit, things like that. But head's hanging a bit, but I'm not full on like slouched, like, you know, completely broken. Just mentally beat down a bit right now.
A silent understanding kind of carries between the two of you of that exhaustion, the recognition, the appreciation, and then it is interrupted as Mattia goes, This is amazing! So many changes have been made to the ballet since I was last here. Oh, but Argenti.
You mean like the big hole in the wall?
I mean, I'm an archaeologist. I'm used to ruins. This is the most well-preserved ruin I've seen.
That wasn't there yesterday.
Yeah, I figured. I sense that you are in a hurt place. I'm sorry. I get too excited about.
No,
things.
you've got a lot to catch up on. You're fine.
I do, but not until my husband and I get some sleep. I insist, my love.
I will happily oblige.
And as they're walking away, you're lucky that you're too tired to spend, minutes. See,
Why are all these men so horny? So
We
many
got those
people.
history.
So many people just died.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yanni just tucks his hands into the convenient pockets on his robe that all the women comment.
It comes with
got
pockets?
And
I'm
just
mad
kind
because
of,
that's the first thing I thought. Oh, it has pockets.
just kind of, I can't whistle well, but he's just kind of like do walks out of the room.
I just give that
I'm not here.
That's
If
like
I had any
irritated
spell slots
spouse
left,
look.
I'd turn invisible and just.
First beat red, then invisible.
I just give like an irritated spouse look, just like that look, just like
I know. It's just
Like-
all right.
Just tell him you have a headache.
why is that so real?
Darian, you've set up a little bit of a protective perimeter around the house that you're setting up in. And you can hear voices outside working, and one of the voices catches your attention as you realize it is Brissa. As she wipes away the sweat from her brow, and people are kind of like in a general break around her, one of the Centurions hands her a flask of water. As she takes a swig, she seems to just sense you, look up, and you guys meet eyes through the broken window frame of the building that you're in. And Brissa, as you see Darian, clearly having chosen to stay here in the broken city rather than up in the palace, what do you two do? Say, as you may be like 30 feet away from each other currently.
Bristol will hold out the water to see if she wants any water. To invite her over.
Darren will walk over.
As you kind of
And-
climb down from the building, walk across the pathway, people do recognize you, as you are Darian, the queen in exile of Themis. As people kind of do a little bit of a bow, exhausted as they are, towards you. You sit down next to Brissa as you take the water flask.
Are you going to stay here all night?
Yes. I think that is for the best. I can do more than the average person.
But we have your daughter to save tomorrow. And she needs you at your best. Don't burn yourself to keep others warm, Brissa.
It will be fine. I am confident that it will all work out. But I did want to say that you were correct. I should not have ignored Moxena for so long. And I apologize for not jumping in sooner or doing whatever I could have sooner.
24 hours ago, I would have been elated to hear you say that. But today, I just feel like it's not all your fault. I could have said more. I could have gone on my own, and maybe it would have forced you guys to follow me. But it's not just you, Briss. I was looking for someone to blame.
It is definitely not your fault. You didn't have any capabilities to go and fight an entire army, so I wouldn't place any blame on yourself at all. We made our decisions, and now we must sadly lie with them. But homes can be rebuilt. Sadly, the lives cannot, but the homes
Yeah.
can.
My mom, she used to throw herself into work She said she always needed to do something, you know? And I see that in you now. I can't force you to rest. I can't stop you from helping your people. A good ruler would. But when you do decide to stop, I'm here. If you need to talk about it.
I appreciate that. Bristol will just stand up. I think that person over there might need some assistance in that house. But
I'm going to sleep. But do you want some animal help? I can. The eagles really were a help, and I can do that like one more time. I'm also like, I've heard of these creatures in books that are like monkeys, like they're strong. They might be able to like pull some rubble. I need to rest, but I can offer this to you. That's about all I've got.
You know what? I will take you up on it. If you want to, I think the monkeys would sound good to, help clear away any rubble and start, rebuilding what we can.
And I will meet you at the palace tomorrow morning. And I conjure some monkeys or whatever I can.
Sounds good. I'm not gonna. Yep. Yep.
Well, can I do that?
For the RP in this scenario, yes.
I thought they would be within my CR limit.
Yeah, that's yep.
They're small monkeys.
Yeah, I'm not saying like giant. I'm talking
Yeah,
like
I got you.
a little cute one.
I don't want to actually this moment have it. It's fine. Keep going with it.
Yeah.
They are rather
Yanni
cute.
Yanni showed me this really cool from like another plane dimension, he talked about them.
They are rather cute. I will give you that.
Yeah.
They will definitely be a help. They can bring people waters and everything along those lines. I think it'd be good.
Yeah. I feel like we should name them. What should we name them?
One has to be named George.
Okay, so you have George. What are other famous ones? George. I literally was like George of the Jungle, but
I mean, if
Name
he
one
wants
Kong?
to show up, I would be
Kong.
glad.
I mean,
Yeah, Kong.
I had a monkey pet on my ranger in WoW years ago that I called Furious George.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the monkeys' names. And any other time I conjure them. So it's Furious George
And Kong.
and Kong. I feel like if we're gonna say Furious George, then the other one gets two names, so it's gotta be King Kong.
King
Like, it just
Kong,
has to
yeah.
And then Darian crawls back into her house to actually hang out for
It's her house now.
Oh yeah, her house. Wow.
One of the people outside goes,
Squatters' rights.
"What the fuck are these very furry?
I'll
very
leave
weird-looking
tomorrow."
people?"
Oh my gosh, not Harambe.
No, let's not talk about it.
It's
No.
too
It
soon.
all turns on
Nope.
hill.
Is it
Um,
still too soon? Is it though?
Forever too soon.
You're gonna get me getting crazy up in here. I'm gonna be put on a list. Okay.
Gang. All right. Literally playing NPCs for a living. This is. Whew. With that, you end up getting some rest. Hours pass.
Yay.
Brissa, you forego your long rest. Okay.
Yep.
Everyone else,
Hit
click
the
long
button,
rest.
David.
Oh my god.
It should be.
It-
I don't know if I
This is like
remember.
a final release.
Somebody remind me
Imagine
how
if
this
it was
works.
like you only get a short rest.
Holy shit. Alright, random roll that I forgot about for my item that I didn't even use. One. Like. This is
I don't know.
it got all its charges back.
I am waking up feeling like I could do an extra spell. Like, I'm stronger. Like, if I had to put a number on it, it'd be 17 out of 20. Like, I'm just feeling it.
Shut up, Thylea.
I've been looking at this shit for months.
You're like, you don't even know. You don't even know.
Wow, one battle and bam.
I have new perspective on life.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like this is the most uncelebratory long rest we've ever had.
Yeah.
It's definitely the most depressing.
Yeah. It's like, hey, we're level 17 now, but it just doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
We did so much for this.
It's like Darian dabbing her tears away with $100 bills.
David, will you roll whatever you want to roll to see if Lothario stayed with me while I was asleep or if he left?
Okay.
Oh.
You finally wake up, and there's just like a puddle of drool on his fur as he kind of looked up and you're like, yeah, it's definitely a patch. Like you made your own hairball in your mouth as he's like,
I have those weird lines on my face from where his hair was.
Mm-hmm. There are a couple scratch marks on your forehead where he definitely tried to like wake you up a little bit and it didn't go so well. Oh, thank Lothario, you finally woke up. And you hear that little kitty cat vertebrae going pop, 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 pop. I hope that was good for you. And he does that like that cat like arching back. Click,
The
click, click,
big
click, click.
stretch.
Mhm. Oh, I love this for him for this one. They are so nimble. Oh. Are you better now? But he's still broken. His little judgy black cat face looking up at you.
I mean, you can be both.
I don't know if better is the right word.
All right, fine. He plops down back to his side, and there's like a little cat whimper. If you want to keep lying on me, you can.
No.
Okay, thank you. Please don't do that again, please.
No promises.
I just felt like you fell asleep on me and I couldn't move. You know, what are you going to do? Wake up the person? Okay, I tried to wake you up. You slept really, really hard.
I was really, really tired.
You still have bags under your eyes. You might want to touch up a little.
That's rude.
No,
I cast Alter Self and I get rid of the bags under my eyes.
Perfect. Much better now.
Nothing else changes. Just no bags under my eyes.
Listen, people would pay thousands for that ability. Literally do. I'm pretty sure.
They do.
All right.
Yeah.
As you all are summoned to confer with what will happen next, as Bersa, you got a bath done after you cleaned up the city with everyone else. Yanni, you turned less beet red and more visible. Argenti, you told your husband a couple times more, nope. Not right
I have
here.
a headache. I'm too tired.
We'll pick it up with the Conference of the Light of Thylea after a short break here. And with that, we are back. Thank you guys so much for the patience in giving us a little bit of a potty break. As we're back, the group starts to gather. Brissa, you kind of toweling off after a well-deserved bath working down in the city. Everybody gets a DM inspiration. Brissa also, because she was, of course, role-playing into being the queen of a beleaguered city. As you guys all gather, you see a somewhat embarrassed and awkward-looking trio of Yanni, Argenti, and Matteo standing around a very much still deep asleep Daphne.
Now, I would just like to say, though, that I would have, like, really tried to, like, clean her up before this became, like, a whole production. Because, like, if she's going to be the fucking leader of the free world one day, like, we got to start off on the right foot.
We can't have that floating on TMZ.
Are you, like, miscongenialitying her while she's asleep?
Yeah, I'm like, we're just giving it, like, a little plump, you know.
As you slowly
like,
take off
cleaning-
her glasses.
Oh, that's the Princess Diaries.
I love how that's
Pushes
how they make
Matteo away.
women in movies.
No. So dope.
But yeah, just have to throw that out there.
Did you want Pitor and Valis there as well? Otherwise, they're going to keep helping with the city.
I mean, if we're talking about rescuing their sister, they might want to be there. Kind of my thought.
Oh, true. I was just gonna say, the people who were controlling them didn't really use many spells or anything. So
Yeah, I'm really sorry I didn't use any of the barbarian spells.
I was talking about my person.
I mean, that too. I'm also just defending you, because, like, hi.
That's true. But yeah, no, that's true. They probably will also want to be part of the planning to save their sibling. I would also eventually show up.
Yep. Can confirm.
Somehow not covered in blood.
Flawless, as always.
No bags under my eyes.
Lyra's the Gen Z who starts
I can
taking
fix that.
collagen
My
masks.
gauntlets are recharged.
Yeah.
I just woke up like this. This is how I wake up.
It's weird. Full glam. Like,
Yeah.
it's so weird. I literally just slept and suddenly I just woke up like this. I don't know.
I mean, you know what? D&D is kind of like that, though.
Did she also,
True.
like, take time to get rid of all the black, like, cat hair that's on her, or is that still...
No, it's probably still
Okay.
there.
Okay, yeah. Well, just want to make sure about that.
That's a bold new look you got going there, Lyra.
I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
Just that half beard look. I didn't expect it.
Brought to you by Lutherio. As he kind of like meanders over towards you, Yanni, kind of like rubs his back up against your shin. I could get used to this.
Cats have a good life, man. At least the ones that get to live inside.
They really do. They get to be mean to people and they still feed them.
Yeah.
But then you get picked up and used as a pillow sometimes. I'll have to weigh the pros and cons.
I mean,
I
if you
don't
make
know what
yourself a
you're talking
prickly
about.
pillow, it won't happen too often.
Oh, that's true. Oh, yeah. And he kind of like tries to raise his back hairs up. So what is the plan? Peter just kind of steps into the room. His loud voice kind of waking you out of your reverie, Daphne. Finally. As Valis kind of walks in behind. Under her arm, she's carrying what looks like a bunch of scrolls.
What are those?
Good afternoon. Maps, mostly. Places where we could attempt to try to find my sister. And they're both in their humanoid forms.
Oh, bummer.
Initiative
voice
is great.
The voice was a little bit of a giveaway.
Just thought a dragon carrying a bunch of scrolls would be
Right?
quite great.
I know the spectacles gotta get pushed back.
Yeah.
Oh, so cute.
I do think we might have an easier idea. Maybe. Did Darian tell us about that idea? I don't remember if that was in or if it was out of game.
I slept so well in my new home. What are we talking about? And she sneezes. Is there a cat here?
That's canon now.
We have to get rid of Darian.
Daphne, all of these loud voices are just pounding in your head, by the way, as they just seem to echo inside of there.
Yeah, this grin and bear it.
Well, I'll just say that we do know, because I can't remember if we talked about it in game.
We did not, but that's fine. We can
What's
talk
the
about
question
it
again? Let's see what you guys actually know or don't know.
Well, the
question is whether it was Elena or Darian who said we should go use the telescope.
Yeah.
Roll
I think it was Elena. Yeah, God no. But I think hearing talk about the maps, if Darian would say, we have a way of potentially seeing her in Sidon's tower.
The telescope. Good idea.
We could.
Yeah.
We can also check on a few more people while we're there if it's still working.
Yeah, we can find Estrella and
Oh God, Estrella.
again on Vulcan and whoever else.
His daughter.
Well, that's a given. Yeah, that's a good idea. I can get us there.
Do we want to continue this discussion there? Is there anything else we need to do here?
I look at Brissa.
I don't know if Brissa would have been there. She probably would have been in the city still. She's just like letting you guys plan it, and once we're ready, she would have come.
Oh,
She's just working to the last second.
I should have told. That was the first thing I should have told you. On my walk up here, I saw Brissa helping people. She said plan without her, so.
We see Valis just kind of like raise her eyebrows a little bit and shake her head.
Yeah. I know you don't want to
Brissa's
be
always been
queen
more about
anymore.
No, I
but,
do not.
Like,
I have no
if
interest.
you have any tips or tricks or pointers or
Nothing she will not learn on her own. I'm not going to backseat queen her.
say it.
Well, you do have the most experience at being a queen, so
And
maybe
if she-
temporarily
If she
you should
comes
guide
to
us.
me, if she asks for help, then and only then will I offer it. If she wants to be with the people right now to learn, to be with them, to be seen, this is not a bad route. But the queen also needs to be where decisions are made so she can influence. But again, this is my opinion. It does not have to be hers. Oh, good morning. Are you feeling better? And Peter's just giving you a look, Daphne, as he's just like down on a knee, kind of looking sideways at
What
you.
kind
She
of
is-
look?
It's like somewhere between a self-satisfied grin and a little bit of a glower.
I think she matches the glower energy because like he's way too fucking loud. Just
Glower energy.
Why don't you just use your fancy magics and make yourself feel better, huh? The paladins of old could always do this. What did you drink? Was it Parisian white?
Can't really get that anymore. You have
Well,
to find old stock.
too bad. That's
Also,
always my favorite.
Daphne's been trying to stop drinking.
Yeah, she's sober now.
She doesn't want to be.
Yep.
As you say that, Peter just looks at her, and as she kind of slinks down, I'm glad to know I'm not the only one who's lying to himself. So what's the plan, huh? Believe we're going to go to Sidon's Tower to Praxis. Should we send one of the Centurions to get Brisa?
I mean, that would save me some magic.
Yeah.
All right, why don't we do that? 15 minutes later.
We all just sit in uncomfortable silence.
Can I just ask? Would I have been too tired to have my bird back?
Did it get destroyed?
Oh yeah. I forgot.
What's the writing on that one? You just get it at the end of a long rest?
I think,
Right.
yeah, I think so. I guess.
You look it up
I think
and
if
you tell me.
Yeah, I think it's if I have to completely rebuild her.
Yes.
It takes like 8 hours to rebuild her.
Oh, separately
they
from the
can-
long rest, or they can be the
I
same
think it's
thing?
I'll look it up.
Thank you.
Because
thank you.
I know her in and out, and I know exactly
Yeah.
where to find that on my character sheet.
There we go.
Yep.
Let's now look it out too.
There's so many features.
Stimfay companion, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, it gets hit points back at a long rest, but if it's destroyed, it takes 8 hours.
Cool.
If Yanni was feeling dickish, she'd just be bamfing his in and out. Just,
Oh.
but he's not. He's
Them
not.
fighting works.
Salt on the
Suddenly-
wound.
Suddenly there's sparks from chakrams rubbing up against each other.
I'd be
Yanni,
like,
Yanni knows
where was your
everybody's bad.
fucking bird during the fight, Yanni?
I slowly turn away with Lutherio.
Yanni's bird's a reconnaissance model only.
We don't bring our familiars into the fight.
That is right.
That's a lesson we all learned a long time.
Also,
David sees something with 1 hit point, he hits it.
also, did we bring your hot Minotaur friend back with us?
Bulbug?
Yeah.
I think
I'm sure he came with us.
You're fine.
He
Slap him on the ears.
Well, no, because he was with Yanni. He was escaping with Yanni's unconscious body.
Yeah, he was with you guys at the Garden of Helios. He just was very quiet.
Okay, I just
Oh, he was there. We did talk to him. He was there, but we told him to stay behind when we went
Yes.
to talk to Helios.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
yes, we brought him back with us to Mitros.
I just want to make sure everybody made it out. I was never there during the bailout session part of it, so because we were in our. Oh no, we did go
Oh,
back to
right.
the tower. Yeah.
Oh yeah. But
God,
technically, Yanni, he did scoop up Yanni's unconscious body and run with it.
It's been a really wild 36 hours. Like it's. Yeah.
Yeah, Bulbug is in the back, just kind of like sharpening an X. What are we going next?
Oh no!
Oh, no.
Not sharpen the axe
Shink.
right now.
Shink.
No!
Shink.
David, I hate you.
Well, I think we need to go to Sidon's Tower to see what we can see.
Oh, we're going there again. Shh.
No,
Just use the telescope.
no, Bulbug, I love you. Really,
You too.
You've done so much. Yeah, but you should stay here.
Oh.
Mitros needs a protector right now.
Lyra needs a protector always.
But she's got the rest of us. If we all go to rescue the people that need rescued, somebody needs to protect Mitros, and you're the best protector among us.
Also, side note, some very confusing things happened yesterday, and now I have yet another decision to make. But like, just unrelated. How do you feel about open relationships?
Oh, totally fine. You need to graze the pastures.
Are we
Rose?
really having
What
this
a good
conversation right now?
answer.
Oh my god.
Now this is really happening. All right, I will take you to the finest restaurant that is still standing in Mitros when you come back. I will get it set up. We will have a nice dinner. And yes, okay, I will protect City. We'll help rebuild that restaurant. We will have. Oh, sorry, Daphne. I will speak more quietly.
Thank
That all sounds great.
As
I
Peter goes,
expect a full
so!
7-course
Just kinda,
meal.
shouts at it. I will. Oh, we have 7 stomachs after all. All right, I will go. And then runs out. Peter just laughs as the Minotaur leaves the room. Sits down on the chaise next to
Daphne. They
Daphne
really have 7 stomachs?
I didn't know that, but I mean,
and just slaps her on the back.
Now I'm really curious about centaur anatomy.
Oh,
do you think they have one stomach here and like one stomach underneath?
oh, this is a kind of a continuous thing. Yes, the intestines are incredibly long on a centaur.
Oh,
They have to actually eat almost
right.
constantly. There is a lot of energy that is burnt in their body. So are we going to the tower or what?
Yeah, let's do it.
yeah. Is Brissa here yet? Did
Yeah.
we send that
You see Brissa back with
centurion to
her-
go get her?
With her armor kind of put back on, you see Silas kind of at her side as well, or maybe taken off, whatever you want. As Esther kind of follows along, like, Mama, do you have to go again, please, Mama?
Mama?
I do. But at the same time, Brisa doesn't want to not bring him because the last time she
He's
left
a-
her child.
We're
Giant raccoon.
literally just going there to use the telescope. There's no reason to bring him with us because we don't know if it's safe there still.
Meow, I can stay with him again and let you know if anything bad is happening. You come back.
You've already lost one of my children. I don't really trust you.
Bulbug. You need to teach Estor how to be a protector, so you need to take him under your wing.
He's long gone. He's already thinking
He's
about
gone.
the
Same.
third course.
I
missed that.
did tell him we're dating now.
Yeah, I caught that part. I missed the running off part.
Also, maybe don't leave your children under the care of a cat, but we're not going into that right now. Don't have time.
It's
To be
also under
fair-
the care of the dragon.
She left her under the care of her husband.
Yeah.
Originally.
That is accurate. With many dragons and an army.
So
Anyways,
anyone
They're all
we're-
dead. Gods rest their souls.
We're
Oh.
literally just going to the tower.
sorrows.
I don't see why we couldn't bring him to the tower. He knows it well. It's where he was living, and he's with us. And who else is here that we would trust him with?
I think if we brought him to the tower, it would be an incredible distraction for both Lyra and himself.
I
So-
truly don't actually care if we bring him to the tower or not.
Lyra's already thinking about her open relationship drama.
As long as we're not burning unnecessary magic to send people to different places just because of bringing him along, I have no issue with it.
Are we saying
He
this
will-
all? Sorry.
He will stay here. It is fine.
And the Centurions kind of gently kind of pull him away from you as he kind of pushes them off one more time, just gives you this big hug. But you come back, Mama, you promise, okay? Please, Mama.
I will try.
Krista, you gotta stay.
And
Say
they
you'll
take
try,
the big old
Brista.
hand and just
We'll do.
it's like the inverse, when a toddler holds someone's much bigger hand and kind of toddles away. It's like this guy is being led by a finger by a Centurion down the hallway away from you. As Mateo steps up to Argenti. My love, I'm not exactly a fighter. If you want, I will come with you and lend my aid in any way. I hate to see you go too.
No. You need to stay here as well. I don't really know what could be waiting for us at the tower. I'm sure everything's going to be fine, but I don't really want to take risks anymore. So I think you need to stay here.
So authoritative. I'm not used to that from you yet. He kind of brushes some of your hair back behind your ear. And seeing no reaction from you, he just kind of pulls back a little bit. Right. I'll go to the academy. Continue the sorting work that you started, Yanni. Kind of places a hand on your chest, Argenti. Kind of just gives you a look. Pulls it back.
I'll grab it, just sort of reassuringly. Be safe, please.
You know, you too. Please. He cups your cheek in a hand for just a second. You can see this. You guys have gone through this fight multiple times where he's like, there's something he's not enjoying, he's not saying it, and in that moment, instead of like just swallowing it, you see him kind of just like wait for a second, still reach up, give you a little peck on the cheek, and then walk away.
Watch him go, and then I'll just turn back around to business.
No, I'm just kidding.
Hate to see you go. Love to see you walk away.
Love to watch you leave. He's still got it. He's been dead for so long, but he's still got it.
Is now the appropriate time to say dead ass, or do we?
Oh my god. Cut the cameras.
Damn, hungover Daffy.
Welcome
coming
to
in
Dating
clutch.
Sim 5th edition.
Oh.
So then, Yanni, you begin casting.
I mean, I don't think I have a circle for there, so it would just be teleport, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
You'll gather.
All right,
around.
everybody who's going, gather up.
And you can bring 8 people in all, right? Yourself and 7 others, if I remember correctly.
That sounds right.
Don't mind me, I'm just rolling all of my start of the day stuff that I have to go through. Also, since I wasn't around anyone else, I guess I would have given Gift of Alacrity to myself.
9 total, actually. Me plus 8 others.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, easy peasy. You get everyone, including Scylla, Pitor, and Valis, included in that, as you guys have a flash of magic and then find yourself transported. Your stomach's lurch, the magic kind of pulls you along, and then you find yourself hit a wall. It seems that the tower itself is shielded against teleportation magic. You again remembered that, Yanni. So you teleported right at the edge, the base of the tower. As you get out, the waters kind of churn naturally. It is seemingly just in the deep ocean, this one island that rose like a mountain from the ocean itself. You see off to the side, there's a little bit of rocky shoreline that you see, and there's just a massive set of tentacles that has been just kind of like flopped over. You can see some of the griffins that have been circling around the tower have been eating away at it, almost like like seagulls or the like at like refuse or like things that have washed up on the ocean. The tentacles, of course, belong to the juvenile kraken that had almost blocked your path into the tower itself, that the fish queen, one of the 8, had defeated for you so you could get in. As you stand there at the open set of doors, there's a light rain that kind of falls upon the entire scene, and it's serenely quiet. You do see kind of this sickening feast of the griffins upon the kraken to your side, but the doors to the tower stand wide open, abandoned. No Sidonian troops to be seen.
Can we please get away from the smell of rotting fish?
What are you
Yes,
doing?
What's up?
Cleanse yourself, Brissa. She's having problems doing the little touchy. Can you just make her feel better?
Could you stop?
What? You're
I
not
didn't
at
sleep
peak
last
performance right now. You cannot be liability.
And neither is she. Let's go.
For once, I agree with Peter, actually.
Let's move on.
See, this is what respect looks like.
I cannot do it.
You got it.
I-
And it's back.
Can I?
What do you mean you can't?
I don't have great perception, but if we're outside of the tower, can I just do a quick?
Of course. Go ahead and give me a quick perception. What are you looking for, though?
I want to see if maybe the Ultros is still here. Like if they just didn't leave. Like.
Yeah, you don't have to make a
if,
roll for this. The Ultros is nowhere to be seen.
Okay.
There are hundreds of planks of ships that have washed up onto the shore, sails tattered. I mean, yeah, there's clear signs of dozens of ships being destroyed. Triremes, like pieces are laying scattered across. But as you look around, you don't see one that would fit the size and make of the Ultros.
Okay. I mean, that makes me feel better. I was already like 50-50 because... Oh. If oaths don't matter anymore, would we still die if the Ultros got sunk?
Mm.
I didn't even think about that.
Side quest.
That was a risk.
Yeah, check.
Oh, I was kind of just betting on them still being okay because we were still like we're fine, but I didn't think about that. Now I feel worse.
Is it like eerily quiet? Or like, I mean, if he had an army here, or he had a good amount of people here, so if
They're gone. It very much seems like it is so weird that there's nobody defending here. When you guys remembered how insane the assault upon the tower was, multiple gods flying against it, lightning bolts, and the sun up above burning people on the path, like it was insanity. And now it's just, yeah, you could say it's eerily quiet.
It's aftermath of a war.
Yeah. Darian's just gonna start to walk towards the tower.
And so you walk into the tower, past the initial guard spot. You see the alarm bell kind of sitting up on the floor there, where Brissa had to try to cut it down without making noise. As you guys wind up the circular staircase upwards.
Memories feels like
Right?
months ago, but really it was
honestly
yesterday.
just like I wish we could go back to that moment. Just have a reset.
You know, when things were easier, when things were weirdly better. Like, I don't know. Just,
Yeah, somehow better.
yeah.
True. And you climb up, and you come past the floor again that was kind of designed as like a massive barracks. And you see footlockers and cupboards thrown open, clothing, armor pulled out. Some of it is still kind of strewn about, but yeah, there's not a living soul there. You keep ascending, going past the levels where you had done your deeds. Yanni, you certainly remember the Mermikis Queen, and part of you itches to go check that out. Do you want to go to the telescope first, or do you want to go check on the Queen first?
As much as Yanni wants to satisfy his curiosities, it's important to figure out where people are right now.
All right.
So, yeah.
Regardless, still roll me a D100, please.
Okay. I'm going to roll it mine just for shits and grins.
Sounds good.
Why do I not see the roll blind option?
Oh, it's
in like a drop down now.
Yeah, I had to talk.
Yeah, that got me too.
I don't see a drop down either.
Where it says
oh, I see it. I see.
It took me ages to figure that out, and then was rolling blind for like the beginning of another session.
Nice.
Did it go through? Did it go through, David?
Did it work?
It did. As you, yeah.
Is it a divine inspiration?
Makes me so upset every time.
Maybe. I'm just gonna say the number 1 is included. As you guys are walking up the staircase,
I quit.
That doesn't. It could be the last number. It doesn't have to be like a 1 and then a number.
Or
it could be a number.
The first
and then a
number
1.
followed by 2 zeros, even. But
Yeah.
or it could be 2 invisible zeros before it. As you wind your way up, you finally get to the level of the throne room. As you get to the level of the throne room, you immediately sense that something is wrong, because the last time you were here, you did fight the large Cerberus beast. The beast is over kind of... I think it actually fell into the map, if I remember correctly, right? The corpse did?
Yeah, I think Brissa... Did Brissa throw it in the map? I don't remember what happened.
I think so.
But it did end up in the map.
Yeah.
You do see the remains, kind of the shattered large furniture that was thrown to the side and splintered, but there's the scent of significantly more fresh blood in the air, in the room there.
Like in the central room? Or?
That's where that map was. And you kind of smell it as you kind of like get yourselves all ready. As you look down, Darian, it was the glint that first caught your attention, but you freeze. Because before you is a relatively well-made chakram. A little bit of blood flecking the outside of the blade.
I crouch down. And does it look unique, or does it look more like
it is gold? It says Elena's loot goblin chakram of amazingness. No,
I mean, I'm not saying I don't pick it up. I was just saying, like, does it look like something that we would assign to our elite guards, or does it?
Elite
I
guards,
knew what she meant.
Yeah.
It says property of Xena.
Yeah.
Trademark infringement.
Oh my god, an even more
Because the
ancestral
IP
She
person.
was here. She
Holy
was
shit.
here.
You see,
She
there's
was a
bowl
god
of
among
Jell-O.
us.
None of this blood is her blood.
I mean, I absolutely pick it up. I don't just leave it there. And I twirl it on my finger a little bit. Ooh, it's balanced.
As the blood kind of flicks upon you, like no, but as you look upon it, the blood upon it is actually interesting. As you pick it up, it was just kind of like a liquid that shined, like give a little bit of a reflection off of the light in the room. But as you pick it up and inspect it a little bit closer, there seems to be an almost golden sheen to the blood.
I will turn to look at probably Yanni and say, does this look a little odd to you? I've never seen one like this before. And I hand it to Yanni.
You mean the shape or the...
The shape, the design,
I mean, it looks like somebody used it to attack, like, one of his kids, because Daphne and Ro both have golden blood.
Yes, but, and I pull out mine. I say, mine can't do that. And I thought I had the most powerful one. It was my mother's.
As you say that, suddenly you hear a female scream. Here! We are here!
Hold that thought.
Like, echoing around.
And I pull it out of Yanni's hand. Hold that thought.
And it kind of seems to come from the bedroom, but like a little bit further in. As you guys rush through Sidon's bedroom once more, kind of going through. And as you get in there, you see 6 Amazon warriors bound tightly, hog-tied upon the bed. One of them had their... they all are gagged, but one of them seemed to have been able to kind of like get it down, hearing you guys talk, and started screaming. And seeing you rush in at first, you can see the Amazon's eyes go wide. It's like, yes, we're here! Shit. As the gag comes back up, you see a familiar set of pecs upon a well-built man. Golden hair cascading down as Helios is kind of like pulling the gag back up over the Amazon warrior. I was getting worried about you. You took your sweet time.
We ran into problems on the other end.
I I botched. I was not completely fair. I was trying to say something cool when you came in. I found these, trying to dismantle really loot the tower. I figured after you had set off and, well, everything that happened, I should see what happened with the tower. When I got here, I saw that a fleet had left. Many ships were sailing northeastward towards the Aretian Peninsula, and, well, I wanted to see what was left of the tower. See where Nephil had been imprisoned. I couldn't find her. Do you know where she is? Her corpse, so we can do her
That's
honor.
Balmetria 2.0, Clancy. It's Balmetria 2.0.
Thank you. There's thanks.
There's
She
so
didn't
many
make it out of the
NPCs.
dimension.
I'm sorry, what I was trying to be funny again. Say that again.
I said she didn't make it out of the dimension that Sidon had created. His
I'm
little
glad to
heaven.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
All right.
But don't we have her skull?
No.
We have real Balmetria's skull.
Oh, yeah.
Not to say that she wasn't her own real person.
And you do also know where the rest of Balmetria's remains are.
Oh yeah, what if we put her skull there? Will there be like a giant ray of light? Like all this loot drops from the sky?
Immediately kills you all with like tonnage.
I was, and then we have a fight with the Draco Lich on our hands. But yeah,
Yeah.
just happens to be
Balmetria
Daphne's
was the
grandma.
final boss
But
all along.
What's a little bit more family trauma at this point?
They resisted a
Why?
little bit, but I figured you'd want to interrogate them. I saw what they did in Mitros. I'm sorry.
They don't know anything.
Oh, well,
they
we
won't
should
tell us even if they did.
still keep them. Maybe do prisoner exchanges in the future. If this is going to be a war, I'm sure this is going to be a common occurrence. He sees a little bit of hesitancy, and you guys all kind of like a little pull back as he's like, what?
No, I think it is a good idea. We should put them in the dungeons and keep them there.
Yes.
You bring your Geigans to man the tower.
Well, I didn't have the means yet. I sent word back home, but it's going to take them a little bit to sail here. But they can definitely do that. It is kind of a nice home. It sucks. The previous owner was kind of a dick. I agree, but it's not bad. And he kind of looks out onto one of the balconies. You see that the windows kind of open, and there the golden chariot sits without the Pegasi currently.
I would just like to say that I think with matters of the Amazons, we should probably let Darian start deciding.
Deciding
Yes. What to do with them.
I mean, they're prisoners of war now. There's nothing more to do. We keep them separated. We try to interrogate what we can, question them. We offer them leniency for more information, and then we let them go when there's an exchange, or maybe, hopefully, soon, peace.
Right, and depending on the situation or the outcome, they'll go from being Moxena's people to being Darian's people. So I think she should be the one to decide what we do.
Well, Queen Darian, what would you suggest we do?
I think we interrogate them,
Well,
and then once they have given as much of the use out of them as we can, we'll decide then if they get to return home or not.
I
Well
sense
said.
something. Go ahead, Jason.
Oh no, I was just saying, well said.
I mean, I agree with the general sense, but I sense something is weird. Peter, what is going on? I don't have to answer to you. Lara was right. She's the queen of the Amazons. She gets to decide what happens to them. All right? That's it. Very well. And you see Helios kind of just think on that and then points towards the room with the telescope. This is what they were trying to get. I'm guessing this is what you're here for. This is how I checked on Mitros. The thing with the planets and the rings, it seems to be broken though.
Oh yeah, we did that actually. Yeah, seems like it was a one-time only kind of thing.
That is, well, a shame. All right, well, Gundarian, where would you like me to bring these prisoners for the time being?
Darian will look at the group and then look to Brissa. Say, do you think that the prisons here are still secure?
I would imagine they probably are secure, but so we can probably put them in there. But there's no guards here yet since the Gigans aren't here. So if Helios doesn't mind waiting, and for his Gigans to come, and then
I have no problem with that, and I found my 3 children here as well. Apparently, they have been trying to look for their mother as well.
Right, the baby dragon.
The baby dragons.
Oh shit.
I will take
That's
care
good
of
to
them
know.
now.
Thank you.
Of course. I suppose a question for you all. What's your intention with the Tower of Praxis? How can we utilize it?
I mean, we were also talking about keeping it at one point, but
That makes sense.
Haven't really thought too hard about it right now, to be honest.
and I guess that ward is still up. I guess we never really figured out what actually caused that. I think we just assumed that killing Sidon would get rid of it.
Yeah, it might be a permanent enchantment, but we'll see what I can do about that. Valus,
Maybe
could you...
check out the giant sun on top. That might...
I did. There is a gateway to the astral plane, a room north of here. If you step into it, there is a sun that is bound by enchantments of the kind I've never seen before. It seems that either Sidon or Lutheria or one of the other titans was able to bind the sun. It exists simultaneously within the astral and, well, at the top of this tower.
Alright,
to
well,
think of it.
that sucks, but it's kind of cool.
Maybe that is the source of the tower's power. Maybe if we can find a way to attune to that celestial object, we can utilize the tower. Though part of me just shudders at the thought of a sun being bound for such a menial task.
Alright.
Be that as
Slowly
it
the whole
pulls
sun-
out
sun
her
thing-
depowered sun crown.
The whole sun thing wasn't just shtick, huh? That's actually something you feel connected to?
I have always considered the sun to be the thing that gives all things life. Without it, we have night, we have darkness, we have cold. With sun, we have life, crops, growth. Yes. I do.
Respectable.
It'd be nice to have a symbol of it, but I definitely understand. I will be happily the steward of the tower, and then when it comes time to ascension, we can decide what happens with the tower thereafter. Perhaps it is a place that we keep other mortals out until they can be initiated, taught the secrets, or I would prefer the truths of what we will accomplish here. Maybe have a new cadre of Dragonlords fly from here, with Brissa at their head.
Brissa will just nod.
It looks good on you, by the way. It seems like you have taken well to the elixir.
I appreciated it. Thank you.
Of course. Very well then. What is the next step? How can I help? Maybe we should discuss this out. And he kind of points towards the Amazonian prisoners. I will bring them down to the former dragon cages. Give me just a minute. I
think we're going to use the telescope while you're gone.
We'll be up here, so.
He turns into a gold dragon. As his form just completely almost fills the half side of the room. And he just like gently scoops up the entire bed that Sidon used to sleep in, and then just like cradle carries it out of the room and then down the staircase.
Really impressed he could fit through the door like that.
Very
I
similar.
mean, I guess Sidon sized, but
A little bit more Asian, like Eastern influenced dragon. I'm just kidding.
Are dragons like cats where as long as they can fit their head, the rest of the body?
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
yeah.
Turns into liquid as he gets through the tower.
He sees a box. He's like, oh no.
That's his weakness. Just a cardboard box.
Guys, I know the weakness of the Dragonlords. It makes so much sense now what happened to me.
We just start carrying around cat toys to distract them when we don't want to do anything. Just throwing them.
It's just a firebolt that like continuously shines down.
You know, we joke, but like if we talked about this, I could totally see young Scylla just like, yes, I want those things. Like,
I mean, treasure is basically catnip for them, right?
yeah.
That's true. That's true. So who do we want to look for first?
Chris will be looking for Mitros, like right away, as soon as like we're done with the conversation.
You step over, go towards it, focus on Mitros, and
The daughter, not the city.
It's on fire.
I know. I was like, we know
it's like
what's going on with
Chance,
this
the
city.
rapper. As you look for Mitros, the daughter, there seems to be a black, shadowy wall. Your vision obscured.
Chris, so we'll just, leave and just go and like punch something that she can.
You hear
Lyra thinks
splintering of a
about
chair.
Lyra thinks about the emotional revelation she had yesterday. Keeps feeling like they're one step forward, two steps back. But she will look for Kyra.
All right, you step up towards it. By the way, you can see that part of it was kind of lifted up. You saw the screws that kind of like the bolts that kind of had it in the ground were lifted up by the Amazons. They certainly had started the process, and then they got a Helios. As you step up towards it and focus, you feel yourself flying towards the central mass of Thylea, and then immediately focus on. You see Kyra bound in chains, as she seems to be currently transported by what seems to be two massive stone forms. They're vaguely humanoid shaped but huge. It's almost like a gurney that they're carrying her in between, but there's like massive chains across her. They seem to be walking in a subterranean path. As you kind of like try to refocus around, it's hard to see more than that. But go ahead and give me a perception check, Lyra.
Oh no. I get a 3.
Yeah,
Please
you
use
swivel
the
around.
inspiration.
You could use
My
the
perception
inspiration.
It's a 0.
Take my DM
God.
inspiration.
But my perception's a 0.
Chances are you'll roll better than a 3.
yeah, you've got an 85% chance of rolling
I'm
better.
gonna roll a 1 now, but
It's like
okay.
85% better.
It's gonna be a 1.
I got a 13.
I'll take 10 better. I'll take 10 better.
With a 13, you try to swivel around, but it's just... It's a lot of rock, and you can see that there's very little light. There is a little bit of light shining down, which might give you the idea that this could be more of a chasm rather than a tunnel. But
Like
other
it's
than that-
man-made?
No, the opposite, like a natural chasm.
Oh, okay. And then the people that are carrying her, do they
Not
look
people,
like...
earth elementals.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask if they were like stone, like the statues. But, okay, earth elementals. Good to know. All right. I can't remember if we've ever seen those before. Well, I guess that's good news and bad news. Because it means she's alive, but also not with Briss's daughter.
Then where is she? Let's strike. Let's get her.
I don't know. It's somewhere underground.
Let me see. If I,
I
can-
lift
if I,
Yanni up.
if I study it,
All right, what are you looking
If
for?
I study it, I might be able to teleport us there.
What are you looking for?
looking for Kyra so I can like study the location and have a shot at teleporting there.
I'll give you, this is the last one for this one, another perception check, Yanni.
Okay.
Can I give him the help action?
No.
There we go.
Oh.
24.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
You look through it, and the you as a also natural historian in a way, like you've studied so many different things at the academy that you never thought before, like what are strata and why do they matter? What can you learn from them, especially in a place like Thylea where there has only been so much time, like the stratification of places hasn't quite developed as much as other places, but that is not of importance. You kind of push that aside. You look towards this place, and there's a thin silvery vein of ore that catches your eye as it kind of like goes by the vision. And you realize that that type of metal is only a single place in all of Thylea, the Mithril Mountains.
You're so fucking smart, Yanni.
Okay, you can put me down now.
Oh, yeah, I put you down.
I think they're in the Mithril Mountains. I'm not 100% sure where, but maybe popping by the mines as a starting point would work. I mean, I could try to teleport us to the spot I saw, but I might put us right in the middle of the rock, too, if I do that.
That doesn't sound good.
What is our chances of middle of rock or to right to Kyra?
Well, right to Kyra, since she's on the move, is 0. But to the spot I just observed... Yeah? Maybe 50-50?
I think that's worth it. Let's do it.
I feel more comfortable going to the mines since we've been there.
I can guarantee the mines. 'Cause I'm
But
pretty
the mines are
sure
huge.
I have a circle there.
Well, so is the Mithril Mountain. Just because
To be
we
fair, it's the
go
Mithril
to
Mount
that...
10. There's,
sorry.
there's 2.
Just
So,
because we
yeah,
go to
it
that
is
one
a-
spot doesn't mean she'll still be there.
Was she awake when you saw her?
No.
She's still
She's-
asleep.
Well, probably... They're probably keeping her asleep. She is a dragon.
Yeah.
I mean, they're there right now, so if he teleports us right now, we would only be this conversation behind them.
Well, we can't
That's
go
true.
right now. We have other people we have to look for.
but
Are you
we'd still be-
serious? My sister
We'd
is
still
in
be really
danger.
close.
And
We'd be really, really close.
Yeah, we'd be really, really close.
The thing is, like, once I go there, I won't be here anymore. So whoever I take with me is with me, and whoever else is going to have to go with Argenti, because he's the other one that can get people somewhere.
Fine. Yeah. Fine. Let's go.
But whoever wants to go, like, if you guys want to split up right now, we can do that.
Who else are we looking for?
I step forward and I look for Moxena.
I mean,
As you just push Lyra and Yanni.
I'm like, as they're talking about going and where to teleport, I just single-minded look.
That's fair. That was my next.
As she's doing that, my response to Brissa is, I don't know, Estrella maybe? The ship?
Oh yeah, that's right.
She was also on the list, but Moxena was definitely next.
I can add her after Moxena. I can do that.
You put your eye to the bronze eyepiece and swivel the thing, and there's just a black, shadowy wall. It seems that the eye is being blocked.
Seeing that, could I just go right to Estrella?
It rips you as you move over. You see Estrella in tattered clothes. She doesn't have her necklace. She doesn't have any of her gear on. In fact, you see that there are adamantine manacles around her hands, her wrists, and her kind of like tied down on a chain to her legs as well. You can see that she's currently on her knees, and she seems to be just like in a little bit of a pose of prayer, kind of like gently rocking back and forth. The swaying of wood, the room itself, kind of like you see a lamp kind of like going back and forth. You're clearly underneath the deck of the Ultros.
One stole our fucking shit.
Yeah, I will share that with the group to say she might be able to give us some information about who's taken our ship.
Oh yeah, she's awake.
She's awake, so we would be able to potentially reach out to her and still teleport to where we need to go, or teleport to her. As in, like, if we decided we needed to split up. But I can't see Moxena. Whatever's blocking you from seeing your daughter is blocking me from seeing her.
They might be together then.
Yeah. It's probably a solid assumption.
I mean, no guarantee, but likelihood decent.
I think I would seeing Darian looking through the telescope, I would kind of just whisper to her.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to call out in front of everyone. You should look for your friend.
Scared that if I look, she could be dead. But you're right. I should look. And I grab Lyra's hand.
Hold her hand.
Yeah, I grab her hand and I take a deep breath and I look for Galena.
Roll.
No, don't say it.
P100.
Fucking say it.
Luck roll, please.
I'll do it blind because that's what we're doing tonight.
I was gonna say I'd give you my DM inspiration just to like. No, come on.
Roll,
So we only have so many dead partners.
Okay. Your hand squeezes Lyra's as your eye moves towards the eyepiece. The entire apparatus swivels and turns towards the western shore of Thylea. There, you find yourself extremely quickly transported down as everything comes into focus. And you see that she's standing behind someone else. That someone is blacked out. You cannot see them. You cannot see who it is. It's just a shape that is vaguely humanoid. Something is said, but instead of like actually hearing it, it's just like it's just like this weird distorted sound. And then you see a beautiful looking centaur kind of step forward. Long brown curls kind of cascading down. You can see that he's wearing a beautiful mithril breastplate, barding on his lower side. And you can see that he has a massive pike that he just kind of sets down onto the ground. And if I go with your little plan, what guarantees do I have that your queen isn't going to double-cross me? Like, again, the kind of just the stuff, and you can see again, I'm just kind of like standing there, just like watching everything happening. A god of the centaurs does sound good. We will consider this. He slams the pike down and walks out of the view angle of that as she kind of goes to attention, kind of doing a salute towards the figure, and then starts walking with it out of this tent and onto what seems to be steps, tall grass kind of swaying in the wind.
I squeeze Lyra's hand and I just say, she's alive. But I don't know if it's Moxena or someone close to her, but she's promising godhood to like everyone and their mother. And I explained to Lyra, because I think the group's still kind of in like their discussion, and I'm like, she's promising this centaur the ability to be gods of them. She's making deals. Or someone on her behalf. I think it's someone on her behalf.
So, if she's promising stuff to a centaur, it would have to be someone notable.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably Moxena or Casaria or somebody else of a similar leadership status in the cult.
I think it has... Go ahead.
No, you're good.
I would say I think it has to be someone who works close with her, because he said specifically that your queen won't cross me. I don't think he would say that to
Not
Moxena.
to Moxena herself.
So maybe Casaria.
So, I can't remember. Have I met Galena?
No, so
I don't
only
think any of us have.
I didn't think
she's
so.
only been communicating via letters to me. If Yanni wanted to see her, would he
That's what I
be
was
able
thinking.
to with the telescope?
You kind of have to have working knowledge on that one too.
Yeah. I would imagine it's probably like a scry, like a better scry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think I have any ability to show you, because we can only talk in each other's minds. I can't show you a picture of her.
I did prepare detect thoughts, I think. I meant to.
The centaur that she was talking to, it wasn't like, which one of the gods was a centaur? The hunter? Was it the hunter or was Sky Daddy?
Sky Daddy.
It wasn't Sky Daddy, was it?
It was
It
not.
was
and
Sky
I've-
Daddy.
This was
Okay.
this was like a native Thylean centaur.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
All right.
Sky Daddy is too, but you know what I mean.
Well, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Current-
It wasn't
current era.
anybody where like I would be like, oh wow, I know him.
You
He's
saw
like,
a bunch of like weird line tattoos on his arm, a little arrow tattoo,
Yeah.
a little pizza tattoo in the forefinger. So you were like, oh yeah, that's like that's a different era. That's different era.
yeah.
Like Sky Daddy has like a heart with like an arrow through his like mom
Yeah.
or like an anchor or something, you know.
David, I assume Yanni would have a pretty good idea of if he used detect thoughts and went deep
Yeah.
and got okay.
What? All right. Now Darian has to prepare herself. Well, how much does Darian give up during this
Oy.
mental deluge?
Knowing that Yanni is looking for Galena, I will purposely push forward thoughts of her, but trying to keep out some of her inner thoughts about everything that's going on. So it's more of a, this is what I just saw, this is what we've talked about.
Yeah, what I would just be like, hey, show I'm gonna enter your thoughts. Show me as much information about Galena as you can so I can try and get a message to her. Okay?
You know, this
Yep.
is how we'll settle it. Darian gets to make a wisdom saving throw. Yanni gets to make a perception check.
Oh god.
Okay.
Oh, let me take it off blind. I want to know what happens. Oh, I just rolled it.
Oy.
Ooh.
You want me to roll a wisdom saving throw?
No, I
No,
want
perception
you.
check.
Yeah, I want you to make a perception
Well,
check.
you called out a wisdom save point. There we go. Okay.
Yeah. I have no secrets from Yanni.
Yanni,
Yanni
you-
knows every one of my
you
thoughts.
delve in, and you're someone who uses things, maybe mnemonic devices, or like a mental palace or something like that. So you bore in, and immediately you just see a clusterfuck of memories that are just all scattered about, and you can see the complex notion of the different emotions that are tied in with that: the hope, the despair, the first time meeting, feeling completely like a what is that called, like an imposter, thinking like I'm no queen and she was the one that kind of first lifted her up. And then, Darian, would you say that there is a note, almost like this red thread that kind of pulls through, of softer emotions?
I think it's you see all this chaos, but when you follow that string, you feel a sense of calm and a sense of a safe person. Someone who's just safe. Who, if there's anyone in this world that believes in her, even if she doesn't feel like she should be believed in, it's this person.
And that image
All right.
burns itself into your mind.
All right. I should be able to get a message to her now and get a little bit back from her. Very limited. Gonna ask her where she is, who she's with. Anything else I should ask her?
You should tell her that you're
That I'm
Yanni.
with you. Right.
Yeah,
I
she
got it.
well, she knows about all of you. I've talked about you in our letters, but she might just tell her I'm okay. I mean,
Yeah.
I miss her.
Any other questions?
Oh,
How's she doing?
How you doing?
Well,
WYD.
ask her if she knows anything about Briss's daughter.
Okay. Okay, that's good. All right.
Oh, that's smart. I think we should spam Ulu fingers in the chat.
I mean, it looks like Savannah's ahead of that.
Yeah. Savannah already started.
Uh,
Hey.
all right. Back to the scribble page. All right. Sending to Galena. This is Yanni. Darian's with us. She's okay. Where are you? Who are you with?
Too fast.
I got
sorry,
it. He's
sorry.
at 15. He's at 15. I got it.
Okay, 10 left. 10 left.
Do you know where the Princess of Mitros is?
Mitros, Princess of Mitros. You really fucked your kids with their names, Alex.
All right, what did
I
you
kinda
actually
love
ask
it.
again? Because there was too much to also follow at the same time.
Where are you? Who are you with? And do you know where Mitros is?
Okay.
Those are the questions.
That's one.
Fucking wasting it on filler words. This bitch.
I have to use the privy. Apologies. There's a long pause, and then you hear much more whispered. Yanni? I am on the western shore. How is Darian?
I already said she's with us. She's
Don't ask more questions.
Sorry, I spoke really fast. My bad.
We'll take the 3 back, so we're at
15.
Yeah.
Mitros is not here. I am with Chloe.
Who the fuck?
Darian, roll me a D100.
She's
Or a
got
history
2
check.
more.
You can roll me a history check if you want to.
She's got 2 more, and you could do the funniest thing ever, David. And you know what it is. You know what those 2 words are.
Ooh. Woo. No, I'm just kidding.
You poop it?
You poop it.
I mean, she's the one that went to the privy.
Occupied. With a 14, you don't recognize that name in particular. There should have probably been a title with that, but she was also trying to be succinct with her names.
Right.
Okay. So she's on the
Wait.
western shore.
Oh, okay. I was like, did she tell us where she's at?
Does that mean anything specific to you, like western shore of Themis? Of
Thylea, Darian, you know that's where she was deployed,
Yeah.
and that's where she gave you that letter too.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I know it's Themis.
Thylea, sorry.
Or Thylea.
No, I'm just making sure that I'm being clear with that stuff now, 100%.
You're throwing out too many T words. It's been
I was about to say, David, give us a map. Give us a map.
Where are we?
Listen,
What campaign is this?
This is now very outdated, but like you know that she was supposed to be deployed somewhere towards the western side by the Greater Steppes, east of the Island of the Dragon, which is ironically north of the Mitchell Mountains.
Everything is by these mountains.
Yeah, I wonder if that's where we should go.
Okay, and she's with somebody named Chloe, and I'm sorry, but she doesn't know where Mitros is. We just know she's not there. Does Chloe mean anything to you?
No, but when we were exchanging information and sending letters back and forth, Galena did tell me that certain families were stepping up to be important, that were taking advantage of these power vacuums. Or, sorry, not vacuums, I guess. There aren't vacuums here. But,
I mean, vacuum's still a thing.
Yeah.
oh, yeah, that's true. So, she could be from one of those families. I think for the moment, she doesn't have any information that she can give us that will help us with the people we need to save. We can get in touch with her later to find out more, but I think we know there's one person, we know where they are. I think we should try to go get them.
Yeah. And
Okay.
we can maybe talk to Estrella on the way.
Yeah. Does anybody else have sendings available, or is that just me? Okay.
I wish.
I had a bird. I used to send my bird.
I truly wish I had any way to communicate with anyone outside of the party.
It's okay. Yanni was designed to be a utility caster. That's part of the role. All right. Let me reach out to you guys. Figure out who's going to go where. I can take whoever wants to go after Kira with me. You guys figure out if we're all going there or if Argenti needs to take some other people somewhere else. I'm going to do a sending to Australia real quick, okay? Hopefully she remembers my voice. It's been
All right.
a day.
Give this old man.
I'll-
Arthritis is not going to catch up with this.
I'll slow down this time.
Too much Diablo.
I don't know why I was so... I think I was just like feeling the energy of the situation and the urgency of like not letting
That's great. That's
Kyra and her captors get too much further down the tunnel.
great. Totally valid.
We could just spawn
Uh,
Kyra again and re-teleport.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right. Estrella, where are you? Are you okay? Who has you captive? Do you need immediate assistance, or can you ride it out for a little while?
Yanni? Oh, Yanni! Focus. The Amazons. There were traitors amongst the crew. They took the ship by force. They brought some prisoners to the tower.
I think that's it.
Yeah, that's on brand. Okay. Shit. I guess I got to burn one more
Oh.
because she didn't really say where she was.
I know.
Well, we know she's on the. Okay, so we know she's on the ship.
Right.
So we just don't know where
Can
that
we
ship's
scry the
going.
ship itself?
Can we teleport to the ship?
You have a
We
teleportation.
did put a
circle
circle on it.
Yeah. So we can teleport to the ship. And we probably can just scry the ship. Can we?
You can scry on an object, can't you?
I thought you couldn't.
Well, the
I
ship
thought
is really
I thought
a person.
it was a
Oh.
creature or an object. Because
I don't remember. It's a good thing we can look it up.
oh no, it just says
location. You can do a location
creature.
or a creature. So in this
or a
case,
location.
you could argue that the Ultras is a location.
Or a creature. I mean, it is
Maybe.
inhabited
Or
by
a
the
creature.
soul of a.
Also true.
Could we look with
Yanni-
the telescope then?
You're very smart, though. You do know that you're not sure how this is going to work. You guys should do this for an experiment so that you know. Because, again, Rhodas had raised that shield around the Ultros, preventing Sidonian magic from being able to pierce through it.
True, but I mean, if we saw Estrella on it,
Yep.
seems like it gets through it. Which may mean that Sidon didn't build this thing. Seems likely, actually.
I mean, you already know for a fact that the why do I always forget what it's called? The planet thing was built by the Lotus Witch.
Right.
Well, do we want to scry or
Yeah, let's.
would this
let's take a quick
telescope
look.
work?
I mean, that's what I was gonna. I actually don't have the ability to scry with magic.
We've basically simplified the telescope into
Oh.
into a better scry.
Oh, I thought
Yeah,
Yanni was just
Estrella,
going
Estrella
to
was always our scryer.
Yeah.
For all the good that does us right in this instant, but we've got the telescope.
If she could just scry on us, then tell us.
Anyway,
Do you want to look or do you want me to look since I'm right here?
I mean we've got the teleportation circle coordinates, so.
Yeah, I mean, we could just prepare for a fight and then just go there.
But Pitor's gonna literally bite my head off if I don't.
No.
take him to save his sister,
After Kyra stuff.
Yeah.
After
Thank
Kyra
you.
stuff. I'm just saying we don't have to find out like where she's at. We can just be ready for a fight and go to the ship.
All right. Can you finish up your looking thing, voyeurism?
Does anybody desperately want to go anywhere else, or are we all going to Kyra right now?
I'm okay with Kyra.
I'm going to Kara.
All right, we're going to Kyra. Let me zero in on her again, see if I can get better, closer.
Roll me D100
Somebody,
real
anybody?
quick.
I'll pick up Yanni.
That'd
I'm
be
right
one.
here.
Okay.
I'm right here.
Not only am I small, I'm waifish. I'm.
Yeah.
I feel very strong picking you up. I'm not gonna lie. Like I only have like a very.
I'm like the
I'm
size
weak.
of a 3-year-old. You know.
You go up towards it and you focus on it for the second time, and you feel that there seems to be, as you kind of like refocus, and there seems to be an interesting warping of the vision. You focus on it once again, and that's when you kind of get the sense that the more often the same person tries to scry on the same person, the less accurate it's going to become. It kind of seems to go in, and this time you kind of like, as you're looking around, go to make me a perception check with disadvantage.
Okie doke. Perception.
Nice. For a,
I mean, 20.
all right, dirty 20. You look around, and as you focus in on it, it is still a tunnel, but it starts to open up a little bit, or like a chasm, and there's a little bit more light shining through. You see what seems like catwalks kind of built onto the sides of the mountainside here. Interesting. You you're pretty sure you've seen a couple of chasms before within the Mithril Mountains. There certainly are some near the Mithril Mines. There's some north of the Centaur Plains between Astoria and the mountains. There's also one near the necropolis that you have seen.
But it's hard to tell which one this is.
Yeah.
But I have a... I at least get the viewed once roll on teleport, right?
Mm-hmm.
At this point. All right.
And this is, for the record, this is a gimme. Technically, scrying only lets you see the creature, not anything that is around it. So you are welcome.
Well, thank you.
Mm-hmm. I'm a kind and generous god.
David.
The telescope is more awesome than the spell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they buffed it. It's a plus,
All right.
+1 to scry.
It's an
Now I'm
uncapped
picturing.
scry.
Now every time I picture normal scrying, it's going to be like when Professor X was using Cerebro in the movies, and
I feel like
everything
that's
was,
how it actually is.
everything
Yeah.
was blurry except the person he was focused on.
That is actually how scrying is supposed to work. All right, so you guys all gather around, getting yourselves ready. Do you like?
Nope.
Nope.
I've been waiting with bated breath. There are just 3 people I would like to scry on
Oh.
that I didn't do last time.
Oh.
Been patiently waiting for everyone to finish up. But before we go, I would just like to scry on Leto, Ophelia, and Enzio.
All right.
Aww.
I know what Leto looks like as an adult.
These are your kids, okay? Because
Yeah.
we know is
Yeah.
Puppy Chow.
Yeah. But I only remember the faces of Ophelia and Enzio as children, though.
Mm-hmm. Which
So I'm
will
gonna
be
do
enough
my best.
for the scrying glass to work.
Okay.
Whom do you start with?
Start with Leto.
What did Leto look like as a child? What does he look like as an adult?
Oh. Little. As a child, he was just a scrawny little boy with like a big head, and people picked on him for it all the time. And he's got big green eyes, and he's an elven child. And like his siblings, he has like pretty tan skin, but then he's just like giant emerald eyes. And as an adult, he probably looks similar, but maybe he just has like a full beard or something. I don't know.
And yes,
I never really thought about what he looks like as an adult.
Elves aren't supposed to have beards, but I always liked elves with beards. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Depends
Yeah.
on which media you consume.
No.
As you focus in, you see him carrying scrolls. He gently sets them down upon a table, very meticulously arranges a quill, 3 different inks, and a book that is half written before him. He picks up some spectacles, and you can see he is significantly advanced in age. Well past middle age now, even for an elf. He's wearing what appear to be blue robes with some silver pins kind of attached to it. You can see that there's a pouch on the side where perhaps a book could go. As he kind of focuses in and rearranges, he kind of like flicks his finger towards a candle that is currently unburning and with a firebolt turns it. As the light kind of shines down, his attention is drawn by someone calling his name. And you see a man step into the vision. Argenti, roll me a D100.
It's your ex-husband.
35. Yeah.
The bulleter that you played. No. A man steps into the vision. Middle-aged, stern, well-cut. A soldier. Silver breastplate. You see a blue cape kind of behind him as he kind of carries a shield at his side with the lightning bolts. Stern brown eyes looking at your son. Yes, General Gaius, how can I help you? Wrap up your research. Everything here has to be brought back to Cydonia. Jotsia is now in charge. Thank you for everything that you've been able to catalog here. This will hopefully help resettle the Geigen populations one day. Yes, of course, General. But are you sure we could maybe spend a couple more days? No, it cannot wait. Please pack now. Thank you. The figure recedes from the vision. And you see Leto kind of like, kind of let out an angry, stuttering kind of breath. The emerald green eyes kind of just burning with anger. He seems to reach underneath the table that he's working on and kind of seems to detach something. And as he pulls it back towards him, you see a necklace with beautiful rubies that are perfectly kind of shaped into what looks like pearls. There seem to be 9 of them kind of together as he kind of like holds that necklace in anger and then stuffs it into one of the pockets of his robes, trying to make sure that nobody watches him. Composes himself again and goes back to writing.
Now I'm angry again.
All right. And we'll like take a breath. We'll take it all in. We got some notes, mental notes, and then we'll move on to Ophelia. And I have not seen her in like hundreds of years. I don't know if it's been hundreds of years, but
Roll
maybe
me
100 years. I don't know.
D100.
Okay.
Okay.
You had to have known. Surely you had to have known.
Wow.
Oh my god.
She's in this tower with us. She
He rolled a 1.
She walks through the door.
And
Dad, I'm
immediately
here.
dies with an arrow in her back. That would be terrible.
I was literally, before you rolled it, about to say if you roll a 1, she's dead.
You see her plummeting out of the sky.
You just see bones.
You go to a graveyard and a
Yes.
tombstone.
That's a tombstone.
What did you look like as a kid?
Probably just like Leto.
Remember, these are
I imagine
they could be your biological children with some magic shenanigans, but I think we had settled on them being adopted, right?
yeah, they're definitely not biological. Yeah, no, they're definitely adopted.
Argenti would have picked people that looked similar.
No, they're triplets. They're triplets. So
Angelina Jolie style. I just need one from each subrace.
no, Ophelia looks just like Leto, emerald eyes, but she was probably maybe like a little bit of like a rough and tumble kind of kid. Like Argenti tried his best and Matteo tried his best to like get her into her studies, but no, she was like, she just wanted to like kick ass, pick worms, like jump in mud. Her leaves were in her fucking hair all the time. Like I just imagine she was just a very like high-strung little warrior child, jumping off of shit, you know.
You are confused at first because she comes into focus. And you can see that she is doubled. And you're like, what is happening? And then you realize she is looking at herself in the mirror. You can see that her face bears dozens of scars of having fought a multitude of fights, maybe even wars, and survived. Cut jawline, practically no fat on this lean body. She is muscle, she is mean, she is strength. And you see that she wears a now very familiar black leather armor. Upon the crest, you can see the snake hairs of a Medusa curl outwards. And you can see as she seems to tie her hair back into a bun, steps over towards a table. And there you can see she's looking down at something, but it's just like it's like a circular rip in your capability to see. She seems to pick something up, slip it onto her hand, and disappear. Suddenly there's just a shadowy black wall where you could see her a moment before.
Okay.
Man.
We'll pull away.
All of your kids really took after their dad into being the bad guy, apparently.
Wow.
Duh.
Your daughter's a baddie.
His son's a baddie too. Gaius is not a good guy.
Hey, but now we
At
know
least you
that
seem somewhat.
Right, he seems angry about it.
He seems a little
angry about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll pull away and just without even Argenti, like he just does this like sort of not really conscious that he's doing it, but he's gonna pull away and having the image in his mind. Darian is right next to him. He's just gonna like glance over with just like a very like an ice spike just shot through her forehead. Like he's just like very upset and angry. And then he's like, wait, okay, no, it's not her fault. Like, I know.
Reel it in.
Reel it in. Get a little
The temperature in the room drops by about 8 degrees.
His scales start showing.
Yeah.
You didn't tell us who you're looking for, right?
No.
So I'm
No, we're all just
like,
standing there going, tapping our feet like, any day now, let's go.
Listen, I waited.
what the
All
fuck
right.
did I do?
know we're waiting.
Argenti's just suddenly mad at Darian for no reason.
I'm like, who is he looking at?
Just looking. And then I'm gonna just go back in and then Enzio, please.
Okay, roll me a D100.
He's got a cowl. He's got this cool blade on his arm.
He's gonna
that
be
shoots
happy.
out.
Okay, 80.
The one good child.
What did Enzio look like in life?
In life.
In early life. Let's just say early life.
Okay. Tan skin. Maybe he was a little different. Maybe instead of having like these like green eyes, he just had like these deep amber eyes. And maybe he was just like the quietest and the sweetest. He just like he was the one like while Ophelia was like ripping bugs out of the ground, he was the one who was like trying to like take care of the butterflies, and like he's very sweet, very gentle. You know, he like herb garden kind of thing, and then kind of to that point, I think Argenti and Matteo like probably sometimes forgot about him just because like there weren't any like there was nothing miraculous about him. He probably didn't have like a lot of like talent with magic, and he also wasn't like aggressive like Ophelia. He was just very sweet and he kept to himself, and there was like a lot of lost time that Argenti probably has with Enzio that he just feels bad about.
The vision zooms in.
No.
And you are still reeling from the vision of your daughter, but now your blood is even colder because you do not see a person. A hulking, furred figure. A giant grizzly bear seems to be kind of just rolled over. You can see that it's kind of holding what seems to be a haunch of meat of some kind of
Oh no.
kind of like it at first you're like, oh gods, and your heart stops, and then you notice something incongruous, something weird. The haunch is cooked and the bear is sitting at a fire, like a bonfire.
Bear.
and then suddenly takes the bone and kind of puts it into that, kind of stretches, and then as it stretches, the hair pulls in and becomes smaller. But what we're looking at is still a large man, big arms that are very well kind of muscled, but hidden behind like a solid layer of just like, it's like big guys who are like super fucking buff, but just kind of hidden underneath a little bit of rolls. You can see kind of like a nice little kempt full beard, kind of like the brown hair is kind of tousled at the top. You see those amber eyes kind of just like happily looking at the fire. You can see that he is barely wearing like pretty much a loincloth. It's like very hairy chest, very furry kind of, generally speaking anyway, as he kind of stretches. Hey, Hercus, this is some of the best boar you have ever made. And you see like this little gnomish figure kind of goes in there.
Yeah?
Oh, I remember him.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I did. This is a good one. This one wanted to pass on, so, it was not like counted or anything. It's okay. I go back and forth with trying to be vegan. It's really hard. I always lose a little bit of weight when I try it, but then the pounds just always come back. It's just, I cannot give up a good haunch, It's just the bacon. I will never be able to truly give up bacon, Hercus. Well, glad you like it. I'm going to go have some nuts.
And Hercus, the form kind of shrinks down to a little squirrel, bushy-tailed, and it's like kind of jumps away as you see your son once more kind of like,
And now to Randendorf.
and he kind of walks over, and there seems to be kind of like a small pond in the water where you can see a bunch of other elves that are kind of just currently just hanging out. It seems like they have used magic or something to bring this pond to almost boiling temperatures. Is kind of like bubbling away, and a bunch of others are kind of like currently reclining in there. As he gets into the water, he puts his arm around another elven man. He's just like, You didn't bring me any.
Oh, sorry. I figured that was the snack.
It's not that funny,
Oh, come on.
As they just kind of like are in each other's arms, kind of hanging out in this little makeshift hot tub.
Aw. All right. Little, it's like a well up of tears as I pull away from the telescope. But then, he just like bites down on his tongue so hard because he does not want to show emotion, doesn't want anyone to know what's kind of going on. And, he turns back around. And he's like, all right, everything's well in hand. Thank you for waiting. Should we go now?
Okay, so off to the tunnels.
Yes.
Everybody
Yeah,
get ready for a
left.
fight, because who knows?
Um,
All right. Here we go.
All right. As you gather everyone around, you cast your spell. The magic flashes out and reflects in the room. That is where we're going to leave it for this week's session. I'll pick it up next one. All right, y'all, we're going to raid someone else, so don't jump off quite yet. But, crew, as per usual, debrief after the debrief. Who saw Argenti's daughter being on the enemy side? I
mean, when he rolled the 1, I expected she was going to be dead.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'd much
No.
rather she be dead.
yeah, that would have been like a 10.
Although, I got to say, kudos on your son's being eaten by a bear. Psych!
Yeah.
I was like, what? I tuned in at this exact moment when he died. Being digested by a bear.
Just for the emotional damage.
Just wait. I'd be like, we got problems? Like, why are you upset that I didn't turn your daughter?
Also,
That's okay.
I know we don't know because Argenti didn't tell us anything, but I am very happy that little gnome squirrel man is alive.
Who is that? Who is that person? Do you guys know
We
him?
encountered him at the Mossy Temple way back in the day.
Way back
Oh.
when. like in the beginning of the campaign.
Yeah, that was probably like the 4th or 5th session, maybe. It was a long time ago.
If Argenti decides to tell us, though, you know how they're hiding themselves from us.
Oh,
You saw
that
your
is
daughter
true.
pick up something and put it on her wrist, and all of a sudden, you couldn't see her anymore. Or a
On her
ring.
finger.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't see. I wasn't there. So.
With that,
I think he's a little shooketh.
all of you guys that have been watching, thank you guys so much for joining us on Tuesday nights. If you want to keep doing this, give us a follow. That would be cool. We're trying to get to 500. And we always stream on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, which is like 6 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Mountain. You do the time zone math. But we're going to be back again next week in them trying to chase down a captured dragon that is currently being shipped around, but what appears to be cultists, working with these people that have Medusa crests upon their chest. Which might also be Argenti's daughter. Oops. If you guys want to see more of this, more of this emotional trauma, though, come tune in next week. See you guys then.
Oh.
Bye.